All right, everybody, game on. The grand final, France against Germany. We had that match already before, but that was, I think, like 60, 70 years ago or something like that. But now the rematch in Heroes of the Storm, and I actually thought that today I would get some reinforcements here, and we want to give like new and up-and-coming casters like some chances, and so I actually looked at the Hearthstone community a little bit because I heard that there are new talents emerging. You're ruining my intro!
No, go ahead. Finish it. Go ahead.
And I found this amazing talent. I think he could really make something out of himself in the casting realm, and it is Trickslayer. Welcome to today's stream. And thanks
Did you just say Trickslayer? Did you say Trickslayer? Did you actually say that with your mouth?
That Hearthstone caster is called Trickslayer.
Oh my god, I'm out. I'm done with this game. Enjoy. Yeah, I'm here, and let's cast some heroes. Let's see if I remember how to talk about this scene professionally. I do recognize a couple of people, Khaldor. Is that Nick? The Nick that I know?
Yes, and he has been killing it. Dude, he brought Kerrigan back into the meta and shredded opponents.
He's always been killing it, dude. He was the guy that we called the Silent Assassin. He's got Hasselwabs. Okay, this looks like a good team so far.
Yeah, also on the other side, the Jewel guy, 100 Jewel, that's actually Kirva. And
oh, okay.
Banana Age has been insane this year. That's why Anna gets banned against him the entire time. Like, he brought her into the meta and just killed it on her. Masquerade is the tank for them. Ixia is currently rank 1 in GM on Europe, whatever that means these days in Storm League. I mean, it's more of a fiesta and quick match sometimes. But
it means more than North America, that's for sure.
Okay.
My god.
But Kirva is playing for them. And Dino on the other side, he played Zeratul a few times in the tournament, but so far it hasn't really been that much of a thing. It's apparently his most played hero, and he played yesterday Zeratul, and dude, I can't remember when I've seen a Zeratul performance like this before. He
really
fucked them up. Like, he just, it was insane. It was honestly insane. I couldn't keep track of him with the observing. I was just like, the fuck's happening here? So yeah, it was crazy, and I think we're probably in the best of 7 gonna get a taste of that too.
Okay, I look forward to it. Did he go the auto attack build that's kind of popping up lately with the shadow of Ner'zhul or whatever it's called? Okay.
He went for a hybrid. Like, we don't see Void Prism in Europe anymore. It's only Might of the Ner'zhul on 10, and Shadow Hunter on level 1 is something that Ty played for UK, who's one of the players for Granite Gaming, the former Granite Gaming. But yeah, he played a bit of a hybrid there. But yeah, Rexa taken, Infernal Shrines. Ooh, and there it is, Zeratul, told you.
Dang, pulling out right away, and the Morganas as well. Annoying characters just built up already here for the right team.
Yeah.
Let me make sure the right team is German, right? Hasselwab's German team, left side is France, correct?
Exactly, happy Germans or sauerkrauts, depending on the outcome.
Okay, God, sauerkraut is the worst thing your country has ever created, but let's go ahead and keep moving on.
Dude, it's not even something that most Germans like. I have no idea why we have a reputation for this shit. We have way better food than that. That is way more typical, but for some reason people associate us with sauerkraut.
Well, I agree with you. Most food is better than sauerkraut. 100%. So you know what? I'm down to make a revolution here and change what people think about the Germans. Let's pick a new food, you know, some kind of bakery item or something, because I agree. I don't want sauerkraut on anything in life.
There are actually things in the bakery that contain sauerkraut as well.
What the fuck is your country doing? Make them stop!
Only in very selected few ones, but it exists.
Ugh.
Oh god.
Okay, well, in terms of draft, Germans are looking quite annoying. Mal'Ganis and Zeratul mixed up already. I'm assuming Blaze is going to be on the side lane. On the far left, our French team, I like seeing Rexar, man. This was something that you and I talked a lot about when we did the HEC, about Rexar, when he's finally going to have his place. And, you know, after a couple of buffs and a couple of iterations, Rexar's really become a character that is almost obnoxious to play against nowadays if you have that micro to really keep Misha in the pack and really forcing the fight.
Yeah, especially on Dragonshire, but on Dragonshire he's usually insta-banned. Still the king of Dragonshire for sure, because he just controls the top lane so much. Blaze gets actually played after the jet propulsion changes sometimes on Infernal Shrines in the main tank position. It's mainly a thing that Lauber does, but it actually works for them. But we have Kel'Thas, and that's actually a great character still for the map, but it's not something we see a lot, and of course Kira picked him, which makes a lot more sense. Old man is in, and Nick gets Vala. That's already going to make him happy. He's been playing Tracer, Vala, Kerrigan a lot lately.
Those were his old stables, right? He used to really enjoy running, especially Tracer. I remember him, and I think was it ADRD? Who was the other Tracer player? No, it was
DAB.
Athero, right? Oh, well, DAB was a big Tracer player, but there was another team on Method, or another player on Method that also played Tracer. Well, regardless, we got Vala, Deckard mixed in, so looking pretty good for the 4-man, and it's gonna be a Zarya for the final pickup here.
Zarya to round it out, and well, with that we're heading into game number 1. So we didn't really talk too much about it, but guys, once again, this is actually best of 7 series. This is the grand final, and we're gonna go through all of that. There's no winner bracket advantage this time, since this is a single elimination bracket, and we're gonna head straight in Infernal Shrines, map number 1. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1. France against Germany, the grand final of the Nations Cup. And on the left side, the French team with Banana H on Rega, Quasar on Rexa, Ixia on Zarya. We have Kirva on Kelthas, going straight for the salami here, with Masquerade on ETC. And on the right side, the Germans with Death Knight on Mal'Ganis, Nick and on Vala, X-Ray on Deckard Cain, Hazops on Blaze, and Dino is playing Zeratul in the first game of the series.
Now, from what I understand here, Khaldor, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there is no prize pool for this grand finals, correct?
That is correct. There was originally a prize pool.
Let's make it a prize pool. 1 million high fives goes to the winner from Khaldor the next time they meet up, redeemable at your leisure.
And about as many esports dollars.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. $1 million esports dollars and $1 million high fives. These two teams competing for all the action. And a CC train breaks open as Mal'Ganis gets focused down. That man could not move as he gets deleted by the French team.
Yeah, and the Germans lose the first hero here. That's, first of all, not really efficient. And I have to come back to something I said about the French team already. The French are known to just run away, to be a bunch of cowards and just being on the back foot all the time. But for some reason, nobody told these 5 players. They just don't know that for some reason, and they are always aggressive, and they are always looking for the kills and for the aggressive play, and it's a little bit reminiscent. Do you remember when we did France against Russia in the last Nations Cup? And the Russians with their super aggression? It's a little bit like that. It's honestly crazy. The French are just super strong here this year.
Well, the Germans better start playing better, or they're going to be sour crowd about that. Need to dodge out on all these plays, and I would love to see some more aggressive plays from the French team. You mentioned that they were similar to Russia last year, and that just excites me because that was an incredible series to watch to begin with. So now they have high expectations from me. And speaking about high expectations, ETC floating around on the right side, attempting his best to make sure the opposing team is not getting the Merc camps, and they will peel back and start working on that Mana Addict, that level 1 pickup for Kelthas. Again, the only talent for Kelthas at level 1. For the love of God, stop going Convection. All of you, stop, stop, and stop. Thank you.
It's actually kind of funny because lately I've been doing a lot of ARAMs with community players, and the ARAM meta is obviously completely different. You can meme around a little bit. And half the time I spend explaining that what's being picked in an ARAM is not suitable for actual games. And Convection is a fantastic example. Banana H though goes down, and that's a kill against Rega. They're trying to go for Ixia as well, and Zarya might actually be the next victim in that fight. The Germans all of a sudden a bit aggressive as well, and they're starting to get a couple of kills in.
Germans getting a little fruity there, taking out Banana, pick him off quickly. Defensive barrier come online here for level 4 for Zarya as well, as we're starting to get our talents nice and picked up. Oh gosh, I love watching the macro. Both teams on point with the mercenary camps, already moving straight up to the bruiser camp in the top right, as well in the top left here for our blue team. Trying to get that out so you can push out the wave and have a little bit of experience built into your kit as well as you head towards level 10. Yeah,
just recently, especially the Khazra camps at the bottom of the map, the 3, have been absolute dominant when it comes to the just general strategy on the map. Especially the Swedish teams have been doing this over and over again, where they aggressively push into the opponent's camp, steal it away, and get a serious lead and experience out of that. So in this case, the French team has picked up 2 out of the 3. It's not really a big lead for them yet, actually none at all, but this is something to watch out for later on too. But it's time for the first Punisher.
Yep, we're gonna watch Misha run on in and start to go for a bit of a little train here on the side. Death Knight doing a good job on Mal'Ganis, so putting pressure on that KT, making it hard for the team to step up and put the damage in. But the French, they walk in and grab a little bit of dominance around this mercenary camp. It's gonna take a bit here for Mal'Ganis to break through, but they have to be careful because Zeratul is double soaking during this phase.
Exactly, and that's actually a problem in the long run because Germany is currently keeping up with the stacks, but that was a nice gravity lapse against the old man. Gets taken down immediately. 5 French youths bully German old man. That's just inexcusable right there. And this is the society that we live in these days. It's sad. It's sad to see.
Well, you know what it is, man. There's a change going on in the political landscape right now, and boomers are just not welcome. I'm sorry. I don't mean the one to say it, but it's something that I've been observing lately. So, okay, Boomer, as your boy gets picked off, and now the French team starts to push in the top lane with the Arcane Punisher.
Yeah, and while the Punisher comes in, the one thing that we really have to point out here, while we see that little attack coming from the French, is obviously that Epstein didn't kill himself. But they're trying to go for the kill against Death Knight, and he just barely gets out. All right.
Wow, Death Knight walking away thanks to that sleep. Beam a tree, another jump in from the Punisher, the great follow-up from the power slide of Masquerade. Nicely done by that French team, showing that aggression that you were alluding to earlier, and they find 2, not 1 Khaldor, 2 picks on a push.
The Baguettes are hungry, apparently. Come in, get the double kill, and now Zeratul has rotated topside as well. The problem is that now Rexa is the one soaking the experience in the middle at the bottom, and we have the 4 taken down. French team super aggressive already. Kalthas, by the way, on 7 with a Sunfire enchantment here, going a little bit over for a deviation. Still, for Zeratul, the Seeker in the dark on 7, so the mobility is now there for him. Especially after level 10, of course, and the Might of Nerazim. But this little move that we're seeing from France is going to be great. If they pick the camp up, they can gain vision over the wall onto the fountain and maybe take that down too, but Germany is willing to fight for it.
Germany starting to really power spike with those 7 balance you were just talking about. Hospital moves in with the jet propulsion. Doesn't find a connection, and the French are able to grab the Merc camp, but can they escape with their lives? Zeratul comes in, gets damage on Zarya. She's a little bit too far forward. Clint comes out. Zeratul chasing. There's the shield. Zeratul wants it. He finds the pick.
Gills in, takes him down. Zarya dead. They're trying to go for Misha, and at the same time, the Rhaegar set up, and Banana Age is about to go down. The Germans fight back with another 2 kills against the Frenchies here. Nicely done, but the camp still stolen away by France and already starting to put some pressure onto the middle of the map as the Germans are starting to spread on the 3 lanes to soak a bit more experience.
Man, you weren't kidding about that Zeratul gameplay. That was some juicy movement from your boy. Solid kills from the Germans, and now they start to really unleash, grabbing the Merc camp to the bottom lane, staying even in experience here as they're trying to chase that level 10, which means both teams going into the next Punisher phase will be set up to fight with heroics.
This is a perfect start for the series, honestly. 4 kills against 3, dead even as they're heading into heroic abilities. And now with the mosh pit, the potential setup, of course, also for the French as they're trying to get their hits in there. But also, we have now the Might of Nerazim, and that is actually something where Zeratul is going to become even more dangerous. Nice ult from Zarya as they're starting to steal the camp away. Dino's already in trouble, has to move out, and is jumping in for another kill, and actually gets it together with Vala. As Rhaegar goes down to the strafe, he's getting popped by Nick as he's looking for another kill. The mosh pit not good enough, and ETC goes down.
Oh, the usage of the bunker by the Germans was completely efficient. You had the huge Pyroblast coming out, getting ready to set up on top of Zeratul, and he jumped straight into the bunker and is able to dodge out on the Pyroblast, moving on in, and that allowed the Germans to continue destroying that team fight. Well done by them.
If the Germans have practiced with one thing, then it's using bunkers. That's definitely true.
Wow. Just a little World War I and World War II joke for you guys. We'll just go ahead and slip that on in.
Just wait until Sergeant Hammer is picked.
Okay. Well,
way worse has happened on this stream during the Nations Cup, my friend. Let me tell you that.
I forgot how dangerous you are. I really did.
I was not.
Really?
I wasn't memeing. If you have anything how you can make fun of the Germans, go for it. Anything's allowed here.
Oh, jet propulsion! Into the rain of vengeance. Stay a while, listen, the Boomer is here, and the Boomer is ready to dingle. Damage connects, there's the strafe, huge damage in from Nick. Zarya is going to fall, Mal'Ganis is chasing, and the Germans are not playing around.
You are such a doofus. Oh, what a perfect setup and what a perfect joke. The Boomer is ready to dingle. And he definitely did work there. Masquerade gets saved by Rhaegar. The body blocks are there. Death Knight trying to get out against Zeratul topside. Has to defend. 6 kills against 4. And what a game. This is the perfect start into the series. Great game.
But the French aren't done. They have made it back, and they have brought Zarya. Only 12 minions picked up here for the Germans, and Zeratul actually peeled off to soak experience in the side lanes because the lanes were pushing in, which gives the chance to the French to jump back in. And here's the best part. They still have a couple of heroics available to them. Power slide in, big mosh to connect. There is a strafe as well, Khaldor.
Party time! Masquerade gets interrupted and nearly goes down as we have once again the Carrion Swarm unleashed here. But the lead for... the kill against ETC. Once again, Zeratul with the play here, but Vala's already died too. And all of a sudden, Germany with the level 13 talents as they're starting to move in, trying to go for the double killers. Once again, Khaldor with the damage. The bunker on the ground, the setup from the old geezer, and Zarya is dead.
Zarya gets picked off. That's 2 down for the French team. Death Knight is low, but there's no damage to follow up. Look at Khaldor, low at mana at the time, and Rexar, he's not going to provide enough damage, and that means the French have to back up, and the Germans will be taking the Punisher in the bottom lane and looking to open up the map.
What a fight again. 8 kills against 5. Finally a Punisher for the Germans as they're trying to get some pressure onto the bottom of the map too. 44,000 damage already on the side of Vala. Those strafes really coming through in these team fights. 21,000 on the side of Khaldor as Kierva is doing whatever he can here, supplying one gravity lapse after another to set up these stuns. And talking stuns, ETC already sliding in as they're looking for an additional kill while they're still defending that fort, but it finally gets dropped as the Punisher is hammering it into the ground.
Yeah, there was certainly no major intention there from the Germans to do a full fight. They wanted to bait out a little bit of cooldowns and allow that Punisher to shred the fort, while Nick in the top lane with the Vala has suddenly became a 2016 Sylvanas, just pushing in the top lane, ignoring everybody on her team, and he's able to grab a couple of turrets and a little bit of damage on top of that fort. The experience lead now heavily in favor for the Germans as they land 14.5 experience to just a little under 14 for the French team.
Zeratul attacked and dodges out on the Misha stun as the French bear is charging in. We should actually see even talents again for the next fight if this continues at the pace, but damn, this game is getting nasty. All of a sudden the camps are being focused again, and Germany is already looking to steal another one away from their opponent. The slide against Masquerade. The French at this point taking it easy, but the camp is already stolen. Good ult from Zarya, but the Carrion Swarm helps Mal'Ganis to get out of harm's way here, but the French are still chasing.
They still are chasing. Hasselhoff's going to go ahead and pop his Pyromania there, meaning he's going to go ahead and start backing up. They did take the Merc camp, which gives them a little bit of experience. No fight really unfolding too much for the Germans, but they don't mind. Looking over to Mal'Ganis, 1 more minute and he'll be able to have his cooldown back on his heroic, and they don't want to fight for another minute or 2 anyways, as they're trying to build towards that level 16. But has been called by Khaldor.
Zeratul, slide grab, and he gets out, they mess it up. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was pretty much a guaranteed kill, or at least a ton of damage against Zeratul if they sink these CCs, but they didn't. And now all of a sudden we have the attack coming, but the camp at least was taken by the French team. Mal'Ganis is in a bit of trouble, and the living bomb is already exploding as we once again have the flame strike, and the salami lover takes down Mal'Ganis.
Nick trying to do his best kiting here, but he needs some potions here from Deckard. 4v5. That's why you typically don't want to take those fights until you land that 16, especially when there was nothing to fight over. And now the Germans are paying for it. Hasselhoff's getting body blocked by the bear. He puts down his own bunker, trying to survive. Can he squeeze through? Somebody put soap on that guy. Stay a while. Listen comes in, puts 5 to sleep. Zeratul goes in and puts some decent damage forward, but Ancestor Healing will keep KT alive.
Honestly, X-Ray is just killing it on Deckard Cain in this game. He's been playing Malfurion most of the time, and honestly, sometimes his positioning was quite a bit off, and he got picked off by the opponent time after time. He has actually started to really stabilize in the last few games that the Germans have been playing, but this is the first time that I now see him on Deckard Cain on that level, and he's just killing it. I'm asking myself, honestly, why we haven't seen the hero from him earlier.
Well, he brought it out in the grand finals. Maybe something he was holding on for the last minute to see if he can make it work. Also, it really fits in this composition, right? You have Mal'Ganis and Blaze, who can keep themselves alive. Zeratul, who has 19 million buttons to make sure he stays alive. So all you gotta do is keep an eye on your Vala. I just think it's seriously the perfect scenario for him to run the character, and that's why it's really paying off for him.
Yeah, by now we're also with the 16 talents of course, the Void Slash, and Zeratul has already been incredibly dangerous throughout the entire game. Germany still a little bit ahead with 2 kills as we have the next shrine spawning on the map, and well, this is a chance for Germany to take a small lead before the 16 comes in for the opponent. Nah, not quite actually. Still 10 seconds missing until the shrine can be activated, so we have that even fight again between the 2 teams here.
Alright, Shrine activating. Hasselhoff steps up, gets a jet propulsion out, misses, but peels ETC away, and now it will be a fight for the minions. Already Zeratul and Mal'Ganis working together to control that front side, forcing the opposing team to come in from the left corridor. A little bit of multi-shot action too.
Interesting to see actually Lul Blast from Khaldor on level 10. It could be used against Zeratul if he gets a chance there. But at this point, they're just getting heavily zoned out, not only by Deckard Cain. Zeratul jumping in, jumping out the entire time. Eats the living bomb, but the gravity lapse does not connect with him. And still the AoE on the shrine by the Germans as they're trying to slide in for another kill against ETC. In this case, their strafe comes through from Nick. And they're going for ETC. They take him down.
And Death Knight lives with 2 HP. Carrion Swarm also finds a kill at the same time. Nick will eat a Pyroblast to the face, but thanks to the gloom, he is able to survive. And you're right, Lul Blast does not work out, especially against this composition, as the French team may be forced to not only retreat, but surrender.
Yeah, well, they're used to that. So, with level 13, Gloom helped Vala in this case, but I can't remember when I've ever seen a Pyro Blast just really in melee range being dropped onto a character like this and just having pretty much no effect whatsoever. The Germans trying to invade the French territory didn't go that well last time, but they're giving it another shot as they're going straight through that fort in the middle, trying to home in for keep number 1.
Can they get it? The triangles come out from Deckard Cain. There's the jump. Hasselhoff falls up with jet propulsion. Well done there. Notice how the team killed the sidewall to make sure they get followed up with the pressure. It will be a jump in a couple of seconds. They're going to buy their time. Big mosh pit coming in, though, and we're going to have a beautiful living bomb on top of it.
Yeah, that was actually really impressive because we all know that Germans can't and don't want to dance, but ETC made it happen. So now Khaldor is down. The problem is that Mal'Ganis and Blaze have both been eliminated, and I think the rest of the red team is also in trouble. But Dino is thinking about jumping in again. Zeratul is extremely low, but so is Masquerade, and they're still making the play for the keep.
Man, I enjoy myself some jokes, but I've seen a German dance beautifully before in my life. In fact, he was very mermaid-like, and I would say that Germans certainly can dance. And we did have a little bit of dancing from the Germans. They walk away with a keep, and the French team is left flopping around, just like Khaldor.
13 kills against 8 now, and Germans of course still with 2 heroes down, so they need to be a bit cautious, but with the keep eliminated and Germany only losing the fort at the top of the lane, it's still a pretty good position for the team in red. But this is actually a map where Germany pulled off an insane comeback against Sweden just 2 matches ago, so you should never count out the French team here. They've been playing an incredible tournament, and they definitely have what it takes to win one of those late game team fights and turn this thing around.
Yeah, they certainly can. I mean, just look at their CC in general. I mean, you have Rexar has the open up, the AoE, huge jump in that allows for Misha to lock down multiple targets, and then ETC can just follow it up. And there's always that dream, right, of a power slide into a mosh pit that hits 2 to 3 folks. So far, the 2 people that have been stopping that have been Hasselhoff on top of the Blaze, and Bunker being available, and Deckard Cain as well. So they need to figure out how to either A, get a flank on top of that Deckard Cain, or B, get that huge 3 to 4 man mosh pit. And of course, they can definitely win a team fight.
Germany super aggressive right now with the level 20 that they have. Dino jumps in again against Masquerade, gets already a lot of the HP. And the dream is of course real that you talked about. You want to drop that AoE, especially onto that mosh pit. So Phoenix for... Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a Leo yesterday that picked March of the Black King 3 games in a row.
Well, maybe he was listening to Black Parade. You never know. It's a good song.
Maybe.
We have Zeratul with the engagement on the left, gets some decent damage in. The 20 is here, so the Germans are trying to be as effective as possible here by getting this keep. After they dodge out on gravity lapse, they can step up, and they do. Beautifully done. 2 keys down, the Germans controlling, and the French continue to hold for as long as they can, but it's getting close to curtains for them. There will be a Punisher spawning soon to the bottom of the map. For now, main focus should be on getting level 20 and trying to find that team fight.
Yeah, and the Germans invade the camps now, start to take the one at the top left and steal it away from the French, but just generally speaking, you look at the damage output of Vala, it's insane. 83,000 from Nick, 50,000 that we're seeing from Zeratul. There's just incredible numbers that we currently have for them. Deckard Cain with 21,000 himself, by the way. So the damage output from the team is pretty nuts. He's doubling Rhaegar's damage.
Old man needs a nerf. Let's be honest, man. It's time for him to retire, because he's out here putting these kids through the washing machine, right? They're getting pretty beat up. All right, Shrine activates to the very far south. Zeratul is positioned to scout out where the opposing team is while the rest of his team walks on over. It might get a little bit of harassment, but needs to make sure not to get caught. Ooh, nice little blink there at the last second. Able to survive. and now we will have this final battle.
It's actually a good shrine for the French, because now they still have a chance to go away from the shrine a little bit and try and push the lanes out if they need to. The bot lane is no problem for them at all. Would have been way worse if it was a top shrine. At this point, they engage again, and Mal'Ganis in trouble, and he goes down. The French with the perfect kill here, exactly what they needed. Once again, Extra with a great ult as he puts everybody to sleep here, but they are on the retreat, and now the old man gets tackled again. The French go for it. It's party time once more as Masquerade drops the Mosh, and he slides in with a Turbas on Vala, and that's going to be a kill against Nick.
The French are being carried by a bear and a cow. Beautiful engage there by Misha. Beautiful power slide afterwards, and that's going to be a 4-man team white Khaldor. They will not find a fifth because Zeratul is busted, but that's okay because they get the Punisher.
Yeah, they take that one. Zeratul is still sitting tight and see if he can maybe delay something here. Honestly, it's the mid lane that the French have to worry about a bit. Someone has to move back, and Rexa already did exactly that. So Zeratul is moving in together with it. Maybe he can even try and do something against Nequaza, who sees it coming immediately and says like, yep, not gonna happen. Moves away, lets Misha handle all of the pressure, and that's the best thing that they can do in this situation.
Nice little hard read there. He was just hoping to maybe get some catapult pressure on there. It just does not unfold whatsoever. And I like how the bottom, or the team currently in the bottom lane is setting up that push for the fort. They made sure to clear out the entire wall, got rid of the well as well, so that fort should be cleaned up. They're also going to bolster it out with a camp behind it. This is looking like it might just be a death push for them, as they would love to break it open that bottom right keep, or even win the team fight and go win the game.
They have to, of course, to be careful that nobody pushes through the middle, so vision is actually really important here. But we have 12 kills against 13, so the French definitely have a chance to turn this around and all of a sudden, as you said, open up the bottom of the map here. And they're going to try to pull it off. Bait over the wall should be happening. There it is. And they need to burn this down as quickly as they can. And they're already on it as Zarya just uses Feel the Heat to burn down the wall and try to help the Punisher out.
Okay, they want to follow up right after this next jump from the Punisher. There's a power slide on Mal'Ganis, but they find the Zeratul. Zeratul able to blink out. There's the jump. Not the greatest jump for the team, as Mal'Ganis baits it perfectly, but they are able to turn around and focus that keep. Remember that Feel the Heat that you were just mentioning? It shreds through keeps, as you can see on there in auto tag, and they get it.
Keep is down. Mid lane gets attacked on the French side, though. That's several catapults that are actually homing in onto the core 21 minutes into the game, so this could actually hurt. But the minion wave spawns just in time. It will probably prevent the worst. The fight at the bottom of the map, on the other hand, is still ongoing, with Zeratul all of a sudden being in trouble as Masquerade is trying to go for another mosh pit here. He's moving in already, and immediately Mal'Ganis also with his ult trying to drop the backline.
EGC with the Torbus, though, gets the power slide, moves in, catches one, gets the shield, gets the ancestral healing. Yes way, Khaldor. Death Knight turns around and tries to get out of sleep. Gravity Lapse comes out and does not connect, but one is down for the Germans, and the French are looking for two.
They're looking for Mal'Ganis, and they're likely to pick him up here too. A Living Bomb takes him down, and all of a sudden there's only 3 heroes remaining for Germany. The French are starting to go in, and they're capitalizing on these ones. The German efficiency from the French team, getting their ass kicked the entire game and then turning it around with 2 big team fights at the end of it. And it looks like Germany is actually going down in flames in this one. The mid lane is still pushing against Germany, against France, but that doesn't really matter anymore because, well, the blue team is going for the core.
Going straight for it, and it's starting to fall. Down to 60, down to 50, down to 40, and it's looking like it might just be it. The French team is able to pull it together and earn the victory against the Germans.
Great play, GG, as we have the lead for the French team in the best of 7. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2. The Germans got their ass kicked a little bit in the late game on the first map, Infernal Shrines. Now we have Towers of Doom, which is the map choice of France, since Germany decided to go for first pick and forced ban. So yeah, first game was already pretty awesome. More of that, please. And let's see how the Germans are going to handle the second map.
Agreed. I do want some more, and I would love to see some more Gestapo here from the Germans, see if they can pull it together, see what exactly they're going to take away from their opponent. I think they actually played a really solid early game. Like, if you look at game 1, they had great control, they were a little bit behind, but they got their macro down. Listen, sir, I'm talking at the moment, so I'm going to need you to calm down as we gear up for game number 2 and see more from the Germans.
You do understand that people who watch the video on YouTube have no idea where that Gestapoing from Germany all of a sudden comes from, and probably think that you are mentally ill or something.
That's okay. I'm cool with it.
We need to see more Gestapo from Germany. I'm pretty sure that's the one thing nobody wants to see anymore.
I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. We'll be okay. We'll make it through.
Zeratul gets banned. That doesn't surprise me after the last game. It's actually a little bit weird. Pretty much every single player, or most players on the side of the Germans, and to an extent also on the French side, have a signature hero. And that literally puts you in that spot where you don't really know what to ban, because someone is going to walk away with their best hero. We haven't really seen any hammer bans yet, but I can guarantee that it's going to happen against Germany, because Khaldor has been playing it quite a lot. They sometimes shift Dino into the offlane position when Hazu is playing Sergeant Hammer for them.
Okay, fair enough. Do we usually get that on maps like Battlefield of Eternity and whatnot, or do we actually see it on like Towers of Doom, or maps that require a lot of macro?
They have been branching out a little bit. It was usually one of the things that they picked mainly on Battlefield of Eternity and Infernal Shrines, but recently I've also seen it once on Towers, so it's really a little bit of dependent what kind of setup they're getting.
Okay. Alright, well I'm excited to look forward. I think Sergeant Hammer compositions are exciting to watch in different scenarios. Like, there was a moment where Sergeant Hammer was just ridiculously broken, and we had her in almost every single game. But having her mixed into a best of 5 or a best of 7, I think is incredibly exciting, right? Protect the Hammer compositions require some of the most teamwork in the game, so I hope we see that.
I think the last time that they played it was actually on Cursed Hollow, and that was a pretty brutal game. Germany was just dominating this against UK, so it was pretty incredible. Masquerade with Johanna, and Banana Age goes for Rega again. Ana is continuously banned out against him. I honestly don't think this is going to change throughout the entire series here. There's a couple of things now. Yeah, pretty much. I want to see Tracer. Yeah, there we go. Nick goes Tracer. Death Knight with Mal'Ganis. And with the Malfurion first pick, that was pretty much a given, to be honest. So we can see Nick pop off on the damage a bit.
Okay, so is this still paired with the Tassadar typically? Or are a lot of teams just running just a solo mouth? Because I know you can pull that off, but it is a little tricky to do. Solo
mouth. We don't really have a lot of that double support set up anymore. The lower teams not really on the highest level, have actually started to experiment a little bit with that Uther main tank double support stuff that NA likes to pull off, but with, let's call it, very mixed results. And at the top level, you usually don't get anything of that. So normally when you're playing Tracer, it's only with the single support. The double with Tassadar is pretty much non-existent these days anymore.
Okay.
Doesn't make it impossible, but yeah, if anything, then it's more so Zarya. We've seen it with Tassadar too, but it's mostly just like a solo support now.
Think we might get a Greymane ban here. Greymane is something that you usually see against a Tracer because of that go for the throat combo. It's going to be a Blaze, but is Greymane something that we still see pop up against Tracer comps? I haven't watched Pro play in a while.
Greymane in general is being played quite a bit. It's also one of those picks that depends a little bit on the player, but Greymane gets actually played quite a lot. There's a few teams that have focused also more on macro rotations and trying to get Greymane on objectives, mercenaries, and then also on structures, so that's definitely still a thing. Yeah, the combo with Johanna and Blaze is incredibly popular, which is one of the reasons why Blaze was just banned out now. And there's Jimmy for Ixer.
Jimmy!
And the Janitor.
Jimmy used to be one of those old picks that you would pick against a Tracer comp because there used to be the double support. But the idea behind him is, one, he outranges Tracer, so before she even gets in, she has to use Blinks, which means she's using cooldowns. Secondly, he does decent damage, especially with the Pepper coming in. And thirdly, when a Pulse Bomb connects to them, you can just pop the Adrenaline Rush, and you get armor, of course, to help out with that big explosion coming your way. So he's a nice anchor in a team to handle a Tracer composition if you're able to manage his cooldowns well.
Yeah, and also the penetrating round can just really help against big engage from the other side. It has been played quite a lot against ETC, for example. Even though Jimmy isn't really played that much. But yeah, Sylvanas comes in, Rexa's being picked, so Hazorb still on that side lane. It's pretty much just a thing in the Nations Cup that he has to play a side lane here, but normally for the teams he's mostly playing damage, but in the Nations Cup, in the Nations team, this is a little bit different. Last pick! Kirma!
Okay.
Kirma,
hello.
that old glue sniffer, is going for Nova. They actually switched Masquerade over? What the hell is happening here? They switch... Okay, they switch Kiva back. I was just like wondering for a moment, like, wait a second. Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. Nova is getting played against Tracer, and this should be a fun one. The French team is in the lead, and let's head straight into map number 2, Towers of Doom. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. The French team. Yeah, apparently getting bribed by Trixler here. He comes in and drops the big esports dollars, and that's why we all of a sudden have Kiewa or Nova. So Tim is going to be heavily biased towards the French team now, which is totally fine. Leora gets played by Dequaza, Ixia on Reyna, Banana H on Rhaegar, and Masquerade on Johanna. For the baguettes, as the sausages on the right side with Exra and Malfurion, Death Knight on Mal'Ganis, Dainu on Tracer, Hazobs on Rexa, and Nick is playing Sylvanas in the second game of the best of 7 grand final.
So our teams run straight to the middle lane, and of course the eye will be on Nova and what she pulls off this round, moving into that pinning shot build here on her W on level 1. Typically with Nova, you're looking to be able to land that pinning shot on an important target, or even a tank trying to escape, and try to clean them up quickly with a lot of burst damage. And it's going to come off the heels of that Johanna, man. The wave clear for this team is pretty darn strong. But Death Knight on the Mal'Ganis showing once again why he was a nuisance in game number 1, slowing down the rotation so Sylvanas can push in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's interesting also to see Dino now on Tracer. I'm not saying that he by any means is a bad Tracer player, but I really expected Nick to once again home in on the hero, since he's been the one who has been playing Tracer nearly exclusively for the team and has done exceptionally well lately. But damn, they are going for Jimmy with a quick kill. Just we were about to go for the Allée Le Bleu. The French are definitely very happy with that first win of their team. But now the Germans starting to fight back, at least in the early game. But then again, their problem was more so in the late game of the first map.
Yeah, Jimmy all by himself, man. Maybe not wanting to be in a spot like that. A Tracer composition loves to have a number advantage whenever they have the chance to. And if you're going to give them that number advantage, 10 times out of 10, Tracer and whoever is with her is going to find that kill. So he needs to be a bit more careful and be a little bit more swifter on these rotations, especially with a Nova on the field, as Nova is not someone that's going to really be able to deter people from chasing forward, especially if she takes health. And speaking of Nova, she's being forced to soak up that middle lane, something that Nova players don't really enjoy doing. But, you know, sometimes you got to do it.
Wave clear Nova, let's go. Fantastic outcome right there.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I wouldn't cheer on. Dropping a nice little blind there on top of Tracer, and here comes Nova to join on the fight. There's that pinning shot on top of the Mal'Ganis. As Condemn falls up, will Ixer be able to put the damage in needed to maybe secure a kill? And the answer is not quite yet.
Yeah, player killer number 1 so far, mainly with the rotations, not really participating in too much of the fights yet, but of course once that we have the altars on the map, that's going to pin quite a couple of bullseyes onto the German players. But there's a huge lack of mobility on the damage dealers that we're seeing for France. They have Nova, they have Jimmy, and both of them don't really excel when it comes to escapes. Very different from Sylvanas and Tracer, so mobility might really be the deciding factor in the later stages of the game.
Nice penetrating round there from Ixer. Pushes away Mal'Ganis, who's coming in for a flank to look for a kill. Nova continuing to hold that middle lane. Very imperative. But this is where we should be able to see if that Nova's going to be able to pay off. When you have a 3 altar phase, Nova can kind of flip the switch a little bit and change what you normally expect out of your opponent in terms of how they're going to set up. Maybe she could play aggressive in the top right corner and look for a kill. It just depends on how exactly the Germans intend to handle this 3 altar phase.
Efficiently.
Efficiently is what they're going to go for. But can they be efficient, Khaldor?
Yeah, the French are trying to throw a bit of a wrench into those plans, and of course we're gonna have the big fight over the bottom altar, since we are still expecting the Germans to soak the top right, which they do right now with Rexa. In comes the attack against Masquerade, who pops the Iron Skin already on level 1. No hold your ground from him, but instead loss of hope. So more so the self-sustained. Dequaza already getting attacked. Hazobs is starting to move in too. Nick is in trouble and barely moves away from the fight before he goes down, as the Germans are trying to turn it against the Shepherd's Dog. And they get the kill.
Oh, you gotta love the water balloon. Big bag splash, gonna take out Rhaegar, and that should be a channel here for the Germans, as the French were unable to put a wrench in their plans and take them down. So it'll be a total of 36 points for the Germans to 32 for the French, and they'll have to wait for Rhaegar to pop on back. Now, this isn't something to freak out too much about. They soak their lanes, they're moving towards 7 pretty efficiently, but overall, it's really showing how strong that Rexar can be in the competition with the Mal'Ganis or a powerful tank to follow him up.
I'm really curious to see how the level 10 combos are going to work out for the French team, because if you have a Nova in your midst and you're trying to set up a few combos, let's say with the Blessed Shield as a stun setup, or maybe even that Entomb that we're most likely going to see from Leo, there's a lot that you can actually pull off with this, so that's going to be super interesting once level 10 is reached. But for now, There's already quite a few skirmishes down at the bottom of the map, and it is a 4 versus 3 in favor of the French team, as Sylvanas has rotated towards the mid lane to help Rex out a little bit.
Khaldor, we got anti-armor shells here for the Nova player. Hang on though, fight comes in, pulse bomb connects, hits on top of Raynor. Raynor with that armor is gonna be able to hold for now. Can Rhaegar provide a heal? He provides just enough. Asu coming from the side, gets a bird in, and Johanna also taking some damage while Leo double soaks. Wow, incredible survivability there by the blue team. But the anti-armor shell is coming online for level 7. What do you think about that?
I mean, generally speaking, I just think they're going to try and just burn through them as quickly as they can. If you have that setup that they're currently running right now, you kind of have to go for these bursts, don't you? And that kind of comes back to the level 10 abilities that I talked about. If you just unleash the abilities and then also drop a lot of burst damage with your heroic, they need to go for these quick kills.
So do you go triple tap? Is that what you're saying? Are you trying to bait me?
No, I actually think we're going to see Precision Strike with this one. If you have a good setup and you really sync this.
I agree with you. That is the better pick. But
then again, I gotta say, like, it's fucking Nova.
Yeah,
How many times have you seen Nova in competitive? You can count it on one hand, so yeah.
4 times! Exactly, actually.
In 3 years!
Wow, almost 1.3 per year. Not too bad. That's a good average.
Well, but once level 10 abilities are in, that's when I really want to just see those setups. And that's also where something like anti-armor shells is going to make a lot of sense, I think, if they go for that. But either way, at this point, already we're having 2 kills for Germany and 0 for France. So player killer number 1 has, up to this point, not really worked out for the French team. 16,000 damage for Jimmy, 10,000 for Nova. And, well, let's see. Top lane, there's another camp available that the 2 teams could get, and Nova is already starting to guard it a bit. So Kira is in position. There's the level 10 abilities for Germany, and France is following in just a moment.
Alright, level 10 connects. We got Entomb, we got the Precision Strike as mentioned, Blessed Shield, Ancestor Healing, and then of course the Banshee. So we are looking for single target DPS. Potentially going to be an Entomb on a target. They could even look at the Smelganas here if they wanted to, and just attempt to blow up one. It's all a matter of trying to find that moment. And the Germans, in the last game, were really effective at making sure that they didn't lose too many folks until the late game. So it's going to be a difficult task, but it's one that is doable.
Yeah, and we have actually a double silence on the side of the Germans. I mean, this isn't the US, so free speech is a problem here. So there's not going to be any back talk in this game. At least not if the Germans have their way about this.
I don't know how to follow that up.
Got him!
I got nothing.
Is that the first time that I got you speechless?
I thought about saying a right to bear arms joke, but I was like, no, that's a little bit too. I'm just gonna go ahead and shut up. You know, you go ahead, you cast, you solo cast, get in there. Oh, you buddy.
I mean, I actually think that especially Jimmy and also Nova are huge defenders of the Second Amendment. So.
Altars are being channeled.
Altars, topic change.
I buzz out of this one, Johnny. I'm done.
Johnny says,
what the shield misses?
What was that? That was not a blessed shield. That was a disaster. They get the Ancestral through, but there's the silence, and that's a kill right there. Nice move from Dino as he jumps out of Precision Strike, but Germany picks up the 3rd kill and goes for the double altar.
I gotta highlight here. Even though we had the Johanna miss and Blessed Shield, and sure, that's unfortunate, it's a big mistake, it sucks. What I gotta compliment is looking over to the Germans and them realizing huge cooldown is completely out. Let's go. Immediately, Wailing Arrow flies out, Tracer flies in, they get a Pulse Bomb on a target, and they find a kill. Good heads-up play, and something that everyone at home needs to get better at. When you see a huge cooldown used, punish your opponents, just like the Germans did there. It was a small window, but it was a window that they opened up and blew the house down with.
Now with 3 kills going in again. Bomb doesn't connect this time. Germany still slightly ahead experience, but it's not a big lead. The lead really comes in when we're looking at the hit points on the core. 20 to 36 at this point. So Germany must feel pretty good. But this is still a map where if you, in the late game, gain momentum and start to take down bell towers, you can always come back. It's maybe a little bit more tricky for the French team because they don't have that easy wave clear that allows them to take bell towers down super quickly once that they get a few kills in the game. But it's something that Germany has to keep in mind, especially with the way that map number 1 went. Again the Blessed Shield, and it misses again. Death Knight jumps out. And the French team just has trouble setting these kills up. But Death Knight is low, and here's the Entomb.
Carry-on Swarm comes out to keep him alive. He goes straight for the Rainer. At the same time, Johanna is eating that frontline damage. Johanna just gets popped like a zit. Absolutely destroyed there. We'll back up and work on building up level 13, but yeah, these busted shields aren't working out. I think Johanna is playing on Central, man. Things are just not working for her.
Yeah, Masquerade is, in this case, he was off a couple of times. He's a superb tank, and this time he just seemed to be a bit off in that game. Maybe a little bit too much partying and French wine after they won map number 1.
That wine was good, though. It was pretty solid. It was some good grapes.
Oh, dude.
Altar spawning.
You're gonna love it when you're here in Spain, when you actually visit Europe next year, and we're gonna have some really good food and drinks. Ooh, and that's a really good kill. Nova down, the Ancestral too late, and they're going for Leo. Dino gets the heal, and they're moving in for the Quasar. Everybody is actually in trouble as now also Misha is joining the fun. Rexa comes in. There's another silence and another kill as Rhaegar goes down.
Man, Dino is killing it on this Fraser. Look at him diving this fort, has the support of his entire team. They are in the blue enemy's territory, and they do not care. Khaldor, what is that? How many people have been killed? What kind of team wipe is that?
5-man team wipe.
Yes, it is. Is this real life? Is it real, Khaldor? And I think it is, as there's going to be another channel.
You ruined my line!
Gets the shots down to 15, and the Germans are not playing around.
Wow, you already forgot the second part of the line, dude. You didn't even set me up there. I think they might actually... Wait a second, no. I'm gonna set you up later. I'm gonna set you up later, but we have to work on this. We haven't really casted in such a long time.
It's been a year. Yeah, it has been a year since we've casted.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually going. I'm okay with this. Like,
yeah, I'm an old 1990s Jeep right now. Like, I can barely function. Like, you put gas in me and I'll run for a little bit, but it's not gonna be efficient whatsoever. Like, you gotta understand, man. I'm slacking. All right, this isn't my job anymore.
We're gonna bring you back into I understand. You're a Hearthstone caster now. I totally understand.
Yeah. I watch cards now. It's fun.
And he puts it down, and nothing's happening.
Yeah. All that build up for nothing. Story of your life, right? Am I right?
Is that a sex joke?
You take it how you want, buddy. I'm here to just have fun and get my armpits sweaty. Truly. Bottom lane is currently being held. Look at the middle, though.
Rexa faking his death, dodging out on the precision strike, and Azorb survives. Rexa, the worst actor in the entire universe. Nobody believes him when he fakes his death, but that was actually effective. Once again, they're going in, though. Azor surviving. Leo might actually die as they're trying to go in for the kill, but the Germans can't pick it up. As we have the triple altar phase announced, level 16 in the hands of the red team, as the French are struggling to get something done and a bit of momentum in this one.
Yeah, 3 altar phase, huge here for the German team, and them also having a town advantage is a bit crazy. Big Misha charge here with Nova. Nova turns around and gets the anti-armor shells to connect with Mal'Ganis. Meanwhile, Trace from the bottom lane is currently grabbing the channel, and all the Germans want to do right now is slow down the advancement of the French team. Rainer is trying to help out by pushing Rainer back, but Death Knight is going to be able to get that full channel. There it is. And it's coming down to a point where this combo that is believed in by the French team is going to have to connect, or they're going to straight up lose the game.
Yeah, they're down to single digits already. 5 against 33, and you could really tell that they wanted the fight at the top, and then at some point just realized this isn't happening against level 16 talents. So they just moved away, yielded the spot, and said, yeah, we're just at least going to get one of the altars. Let's give him 2, drop down to 5 points, and then try and turn it around once we're on even talents again. But they are just getting pushed even harder in the middle now. Another fort is about to fall, and the French hasn't even gotten a single kill yet in this game.
It's been a rough city for them. It certainly has. So there's going to be a Sapper Camp grabbing the bottom right by Sylvanas, trying to negate what we saw in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, while all that time is being bought, and the French team is just trying to inch and grab something, 4 shots are grabbed by the Germans, and they are down to 1 solo health point on their core. No more mistakes are allowed. The French have to make something happen. It is time to be aggressive and get your opponent's face.
I mean, that has to be impossible at this point. Sylvanas on 47,000 damage, Reyna 35, Nova on 32,000, and they're trying to just push through the bottom of the map with a 5-man at this point. Germany trying, of course, to defend if they can, but the problem is that the French team is pushing in with another minion wave that is just now entering. They're trying to get at least a little bit of momentum in the game. They're Quasar, they're going in, and Death Knight is in trouble, gets the ult through though, and there's the silence as Sylvanas unleashes the arrow.
Rexar's trying to rotate down, but it's 5v4. They're trying to find a kill. Death Knight trying to sneak out, but there's the kill. The French find one. Oh, but they also lose out on Leoric. Here comes Dino with the Tracer, trying to find a pick of his own, and that's going to be 3 picked off. It's going to be a 3 for 2, and potentially a 4th as Nova is dancing, and Nova is dead.
Nova is down, Hazu is on the channel, and this is going to be game as we have Germany taking the victory on Towers of Doom against the French team, equalizing the score in the best of 7 series here in the grand final of the Nations Cup. Game number 3, everybody. Sky Temple, France against Germany in the best of 7 here at the grand final, and we are good to go. That Nova pick, not really working out for the French team, did it though?
No, it did not. It was cool, and it made my heart flutter a little bit, but, you know, it wasn't something that I wanted to commit to. I would definitely stay away from the Nova in the future unless I can find a better way of locking down a target. Part of it was I had a hard time syncing up their synergy and even connecting with Blessed Shields, but regardless, maybe it's time to head back to the old strats here for game number 3.
Yeah, and Germany, of course, with the map pick, since the French team decided to go for first pick for his ban, the losing team can make the choice, whatever they prefer here. And Zeratul gets banned out right away. Zarya also eliminated, especially on Sky Temple. You want to avoid a team pushing with a strong 4-man while soaking 2 lanes with another hero. So no McDonald's strategy, aka Fnatic strat, from either one of the teams in this one.
Oh, you can't say McDonald's around me. I'm American, dude. I want lunch now. I want a nice little DP next to it. Oh, that'd be so good.
You know the one thing that you're going to be surprised by when you visit me here? How good the burgers in Spain are.
No, yeah, I've heard that like fast food restaurants outside of the U.S. because there isn't, because there's actually like harsh conditions for your food is actually much better and even slightly healthier than the versions we have in America.
Yeah, they have some amazing burger joints here. I was just like blown away. I was like, wait a second, I just came from America. I just thought that was burger country, but apparently I was wrong. So yeah, Spain has some really fantastic
No, you misheard. We're not burger country, we're bigger country. Everything is just bigger here. It doesn't mean it's better. You got your words mixed up. It happens. I've been there.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, Morganis, not this time.
Wait, they're banning the Mal'Ganis even though they've been picking it up. Is Mal'Ganis like first pick worthy? No? For
maybe not first pick, but Morganis is really popular right now.
Okay.
And yeah, so it doesn't really surprise that he's actually getting banned in this case. The Johanna ban on the other side is a little bit interesting, but what Germany has done actually recently is a strategy that Washed Up has played a lot, where of course Nick and Hazu play, and that's the move into Johanna plus Blaze. That can be quite powerful if you have like the second, the 2/3 spot. So,
oh, is this a Kirvwa Li Ming special?
Yeah, could be. We have already seen
I remember when he played in the HEC, like, the team he was on, it felt like when he was on Li Ming, they could steal away games, like, decisively.
There's Tracer again, this time probably Nick, and Junkrat, insta-picks. And Junkrat was banned so far pretty consistently against Germany. So this time they get both, which is actually quite strong. And if it comes to a boss fight, you have now also control over the boss spot, of course, thanks to Junkrat. Okay. This is again a map though where we could see Greymane.
Yeah, because Greymane's really good at off-pushing temples, and he can spread out temples faster than the temples can actually. So you can kind of force your opponent to chase you around if you can get a forward advantage.
Oh my god!
Varian and Briarwing, are they going for the blow-up comp?
Yeah, they're going blow-up. This is exactly the shit that they pulled off in HCC back then. You go straight in for the taunt. Back then it was with Tyrande. You go for the taunt, you drop Tyrande stun on top of it, and then Li Ming gets the combo off. Brightwing, I guess, just against Tracer that you have to polymorph, because we all know that Trashwing is actually useless and doesn't really do anything as a healer. But
I do not believe that or agree with it, but continue your point.
But it's a polymorph machine, and that against Tracer can be helpful.
Yep. certainly makes you think a couple times before you go in for your blinks, because if you get locked down by Varian and Brightwing, Tracer just dies instantly.
This is pretty much them baiting Trace out and then going full-on anti-Tracer build. But I like that they ban out Samuro, because Samuro is another Kiewa special, and he can at any point shift away from Li Ming, go into Samuro, and especially if they would have picked up something like Abathar, that macro game is just going to be a nightmare for Germany.
Take out the Rhaegar. I was wondering about the Malfurion as being a possible ban here. The root is annoying for Varian to get around. Also, he has his own form of cleanse, of course, but the idea is still similar here. Get rid of a support that can keep Tracer alive and a support that has cleanse, and so Rhaegar becomes that choice.
Yeah, and clearly the reason why we have Varian being picked now is that Blizzard actually recently buffed Taunt a little bit, because as I learned on Reddit, Taunt was useless before that buff and could not be played.
Oh yeah, it's just like Bunker. It's impossible to play around. You can't use Bunker.
My chat has a hashtag buff Bunker.
Yeah, please just buff it, please. Yeah. It's not strong enough at all.
It's unplayable. You can't play Bunker. You have to go Combustion. I mean, honestly, think about it. When was the last time you've seen Bunker? Ever?
Yeah, I mean, Bunker, you can't even put 5 people into it and block a triple blast. I've never seen 5 people jump into my Bunker in my Stormlane games, and they all had a triple tap. So, you know, bad heroic, bro.
Yeah. Tiger's in, and we have Dehaka. Alright, so we have a double global actually, so they have a strong macro game here and a bit of a blow-up composition against Tracer. That macro aspect, then again, is actually super interesting. This could be pretty cool if they are able to manage that. And, well, Germany has nothing. They don't have a Forcer, they don't have any kind of global that they could use here. The only thing missing is really their support, and I don't think they're going to play an Avatar solo support. These times are over. So instead we have X-Ray with Karazim for a little bit more mobility. And that sets the stage for game number 3, everybody. Sky Temple, map number 3. France again with a bit of an alternative draft against Germany. Let's see which team takes the lead in this best-of-7 series. Game number 3, as we are on Underwater Temple. Once again, France against Germany. And on the left side, Banana Age on Shitwing, Masquerade on Varian, Ixie on Tychus, Kiva on Li Ming, and Dayquaza on Dehaka. Germany with Hazorbs on Rexa, X-Ray on Karazim, Death Knight on Anubarak, Nick on Tracer, and Dainu on Junkrat. And Tim, I got a question. Do you agree that these new bluish graphics on Sky Temple are just absolutely ass and that it looks like an underwater city now?
That's why I heard you say Underwater Temple. It's different. I wouldn't, you know, go with the phrase "it looks like ass." You know,
Okay. Wait a second. I'll specify.
Okay.
Imagine for a second you are not American, and go again.
Oh, you want me to be a hardcore European with no filter? That's what you want. Speaking of no filter, drag into kill. What were you doing, Anubarak? The bug gets squashed and picked up. I think it's different, but like, I can understand why it happened. I don't really mind it too much. But actually, the one that bothers me a little bit more is Dragonshire. I feel like it looks like a league map now, which weirds me out.
Okay. The red tint, you mean? Or just the general thing?
Just a general, like the entire map being played out with like different patches of grass. I don't know, it's different. It's different. I don't know. I'll let it happen. I mean, at this point, I have so many more concerns about heroes that I can't look at a map and complain, right?
Like I ignored the other concerns already because I just gave up on those, so now I just rant about graphics.
Fair enough. You choose your battles, buddy. You do what you want to do.
You have to go for something these days.
If you ever get tired, you can come to Hearthstone with me. You know, let's do it. We'll play cards. Oh, man.
Okay, guys,
my God.
I'm tired of this. We're going card games now.
Heck yeah, dude. Speaking of, our Dahaka is landing every single tongue. His tongue right now has glue on it. He has landed 3 tongues in a row. Dude is kind of owning.
Yeah, the only Dahaka that I've seen do more with his tongue is Sugar Daddy 69. That is an actual nickname. I'm not trying to make fun here or anything, but that is an actual Dahaka player that is insane.
It sounds like you are memeing, but you have an excuse to meme, so it makes it okay in your brain. Dude, and I want you to know it is okay.
If you would have seen what I've seen, if you would have seen how Sugar Daddy 69 uses his tongue in the heat of the battle, then you would agree with me.
I'm sure I would. You know, I may have to sign up for that someday. Not today. I'm busy, but maybe later. I'll check it out.
The one thing that I want to point out is that we actually have... First of all, we have Taunt. That's already great, because there's always this horrific scenario in your head where you think you could go meme blades. But we have actually Ether Walk on level 1. And as we're talking about talents, Nubarak, I might just add, has also started to go into Underking, so we're actually going to see that Engage comp It's interesting because this is the second time in the Nations Cup that I've seen Germany play with a Nubarak, and generally speaking, he isn't really played a lot anymore. It's not really the tank that sees a lot of action these days, and for good reason. His win rate right now is pretty abysmal. You really want to go for that quick kill, that quick one-shot, and I'm not quite sure if they're going to get that. But you have Cocoons, so that might help them against Varian.
Yeah, just dies a little bit too quickly in this meta. And also, with Karazim being here too, though, like, do you go Divine Palm to keep that Nubarak alive? Because he does suffer against a lot of CC, and there is a ton of CC on the Gothing side.
Nah, 7-sided all the way.
All the way? Okay.
I mean, they played a similar setup, actually, just against the UK. It's not quite the same that they used there, but they did go 7-sided there as well. I would actually be surprised if they go into anything else. Death Knight, by the way, in the mid lane gets attacked again. This time the bomb connects for just a moment. Masquerade gets also nearly locked down here, but not quite.
Temple grabbed in both the top and middle side for the Germans.
Yeah.
But Haka wants to change that as he rotates in from the side, looking to find a tongue. And maybe the blue team, France, can grab this temple in the middle.
Yeah, and that was the moment when my grandmother all of a sudden called me on Skype, definitely pressing the wrong button on her iPad. But Anubarak is dead again, and that's
love you, Grandma. Well,
she's one of those grandmas that has sometimes some trouble with technology, and yeah, it has caused some interesting moments, nearly as interesting as this one. That was a very nice move by Dino initially, but the problem is it ended with Karazim dying, and everybody that got booped into the range of the fort survived on the French side, and the French team has 3 kills against 0.
That was a moment where Karazim definitely typed a question mark in the chat. He didn't even say it to his friend. He was like, question mark, what was that, buddy? As he loses life, and you're right, 3 kills to 0 here. It seems like the French are a little bit upset of what happened to them on Towers of Doom last map.
Yeah, you can't really blame them. From a structural perspective, though, I gotta say that it looks actually pretty solid for the Germans. If they can take down the fort at the top lane with Harzobs pushing in right now, that would be a pretty good one. Camp stolen away, on the other hand, that would be a nuisance for Germany. If they lose that Siege Giant camp, and I think they will, they trade for the fort at the top side, but someone has to still deal with it, and I guess we're gonna see, well, Junkrat trying to get close enough that he can boop those 2 Siege Giants into the range of the fort.
Yeah. And the French are setting up here for the bottom right. We're waiting to see if maybe Junkrat rotated incorrectly and Varian can find them with a taunt combo. That does not pay off the way they were looking for. Experience still to climb here for the French team, despite the fort being taken in the top left corner for the Germans. Now, it should offset it just enough for the experience to hit level 10 at the same time as their opponents, but things looking a little bit ridiculous. Best part, though, for the French team is they have the double global, so although that fort did get picked off and they'll be losing experience over time, they are still able to hold those waves and stay in the game.
Yeah, if they can control the macro game in the later stages when the map opens up and the forts are down, that would be great for them. This is really where value comes through with the double global setup. But Germany is still holding tight in experience. Taking that fort down at the top side is also a big win for them, so that definitely helps. If they can just focus on the structures here a little bit, that would be fantastic. But now the temple is activating, or announced at least, at the bottom of the map, and that's of course where usually a lot of the action around level 10 happens, so this is going to set the stage for the mid game.
Yeah, this is certainly the breaking point for a lot of teams. That's how they handle this temple phase. Taunt comes out, and we'll be hitting a Nubarak who eats more damage. There's a Polymorph and slowed, but Death Knight able to survive 4 now. Meanwhile, Rexar doing his best to hold a 2v1 on the top side. The Night Camp actually being grabbed potentially, and Brownwing's gonna come over and help it. They want this camp. They want to be able to offset this push coming in from Rexar. In fact, they might be able to find Rexar as Masquerade comes to the side. Blood's in. There's a taunt. There's a polymorph. The Hawk is set up for the tongue in case he has to follow up, but doesn't even need to. Another pick for the French team.
They rotated topside though with everyone that they had, so that's a kill, but they are losing shots at the bottom of the map. Now as they start to rotate down, they will eventually grab the temple, but that's at least a few more structures that will get eliminated here. So that's not too horrible for Germany. They took the fountain down already, so that's a bit of a win. Death timers are still low, so Rexa is already on his way back. The problem is the taunt and the palm. You called it earlier, there it is, against the combo. They use Palm over the 7-sided to deal with the taunt, and in this case, it worked wonders for X-Ray, who was able to stay alive.
Still, though, the great thing about a taunt composition, if you're able to pull it off, is that it's such a short cooldown. It's already up and ready to go. That's why Li Ming is so great to pair with it as well, because her cooldowns are just as low as well. You might typically see maybe a Grey Mane with this at the same time with the Cursed Bullet. But now you look at the French team, and they're ready to go in for another attempt to find a pick. Rexar comes in from the side, looking for a flank. Misha's Bear charges and misses, but Dahaka able to step back, and here actually comes the laser drill.
Yep, Tigers definitely watched the StarCraft advertisement. Real man drill deep. The problem is he didn't really get a lot out of that. Once again, here comes the engage. X-Ray is low, is trying to zip away and gets barely out. Misha falls, but the rest of the French team is still absolutely alive and ready to get into the action. They are able to grab the remaining shots on the temple. Germany is already rotating away, still waiting for the first kill in this third map. It's actually a little bit insane. It's pretty much a reversal of the last map so far.
Yeah. MVP play there with some Brightwing as well. As soon as Cocoon was connected on top of the Varian, you saw the German team all set up to really CC that target and take out Varian, but Brightwing, immediately being the best healer in the game, realized that all she had to do was phase shift on top of that Varian, find the polymorph on Tracer, and secure a nice save on Varian, which allowed for the French team to turn around and grab the temple. Brightwing is simply the best. Well done, French team, for showing that off.
I can't wait for Brightwing to be killed. It's honestly not the... Honestly, if they win with this, it doesn't really say anything about Brightwing. Brightwing will still be the worst healer in the game, but it will say something about how amazing Banana H is.
Semantics, you know, things to be said about stuff.
Tomato, tomato. And Tigers is pushed in and goes down. Where was your heal? Wait. Where was the healer? Where was he?
Cancelled actually by Hasselhoff. Good play there by Hasselhoff. Canceling it out. And now Masquerade might be in trouble too. This is where Brightwing's gonna have a hard time. Okay, Brightwing, maybe you're messing up a little. Maybe, slightly, sorta, kinda.
You know, this would be so much easier for the French team if they didn't go for the voluntary handicap and actually pick the support and the healer here, but they didn't. So now they're struggling in these situations, as we could just witness, and that's not only a double kill, but that's also a fourth that has been taken down at the bottom of the map.
You know, when you're casting, how many heroes are in the game now? 80, 81, 82? When you're casting 81 of the characters in the game, you're a phenomenal caster. When you're casting the 82nd, Mrs. Brightwing over here, you're a little biased. I'm just gonna throw that out there, okay?
You
I don't know if people agree
I
with
just
me,
put
but
it
you're
like
a little
this.
biased.
If you have 81 heroes in the game, that is 80 different choices that you could have made compared to the one that the Frenchies went for. So there is literally no excuse here.
Oh, fair enough. And meanwhile, through all this banter, in quotation marks, we have the German team really starting to pull it together here. They have 2 forts taken down on their opponents, have started to earn a couple of kills, have started to really control that front line, Varian in particular, and it's really started to come online for them here as they've been able to handle that web. And now the French team are finding themselves in a position where they need to have both their globals double soaking, handling the map, and they're going to have complete synchronization here to find one target, taunt it, and take it out.
Yeah. Oh, Banana H is in trouble. Should get away here, though. And still the shots fired, and all of the forts are actually gone. But all memes for just a second aside, Brightwing, I have to admit, if you have a team that really knows what they're doing and they play around the global aspect of Brightwing, that can give value. I mean, Fnatic back in the day is obviously the best example for it, with the triple global. But generally speaking, especially in the hands of lesser experienced players, I just hate that hero. If Blizzard at any point buffs her, then I'm totally fine with it. But right now, it seems like it's always a bit of a weird pick that doesn't really help you in the later stage. But so far, Banana H played it well. He had a couple of good polymorphs, as you already pointed out, and if they can get that lockdown against any hero again and set something up with Li Ming and Tigers, then they might just get those kills. The problem that they have is they are just falling behind on the structural side, and that's really what matters at the end of the day on Sky Temple.
Yep, exactly. With it being a Sky Temple, it becomes so difficult for you to make the play that you need to get back in the game. This is one of those battlegrounds that do have that snowbally aspect towards it, similar to maybe Blackheart's Bay, even though it's not the competitive pool. But the idea of if you fall behind macro-wise, you have to make an aggressive play that is high risk, high reward. And if you can't find that avenue, usually you're going to fall victim to your opponent. Big burrow there from the Pulse Bomb. Essence comes out at the same time. Brightwing doing her best to keep Dahaka alive, but not enough. And the opposing team is able to secure a kill. Now, Varian does come on over. There will be a laser on top of the Anubarak, but another boot from Junkrat is making it difficult for him to even handle the pressure coming his way.
Really nice stun against Tigers, but really good save so far. Well played here by Banana H once again, but the fight isn't over yet. There's still the Germans trying to jump in for this one. I gotta say, I'm amazed that there's not a second hero that has died. That was incredible that they were able to save all of those. Especially after we already seen Tigers boot back into the team. That was insanity. And they're going for the boss, actually. They have level 16 talents. They have an advantage for now. They also have the vision of the heroes at the bottom of the map. Right Wing and Tigers are both sitting on lane. And it seems like Germany is willing to make the play here. A bit ambitious, I want to say, to be honest.
Gotta agree with you, especially with Doc at the top lane having that burrow available. Gotta shout out Karazim though. We've been talking about the Brightwing, but Karazim has been killing it when it comes to palms and of course finding those engages on his teammates. He actually was so confident in winning that team fight that he used Palm on top of Misha. Misha actually survived a full onslaught from the French team because of Palm hitting the bear.
But now that we have level 16, I want to point something else out. We have Epic Enter now, the best engagement talent and the only choice for a Nubarak on level 16.
Yeah.
It has Epic in the name. That's how good the talent is.
I'm trying to fault your logic, and I have no devil's advocate here. It is seriously the best talent.
That picked Debilitation. The rant was endless. I was ranting for half an hour, I think. But right now, with Epicenter and the stun setup that you have, that's actually crazy. The problem is the boss is taken right now. I'm not quite sure if that's really a problem for Germany, because it seems like a very conscious decision, since they're just saying, well, you take the boss, we take your keep, have fun with that.
Yep, they siege it down, the Temple will finish it off, and all they gotta do is send somebody bottom to deal with his giant camp, and of course the boss, and they'll be fine. Germany sitting pretty. I almost said German sitting pretty, which is also true, as we know from you when you flex later on the stream. But Tracer and Junkrat already heading the bottom lane to start dealing out that boss.
Yeah, and the defense is there, alright, so now, of course, with the rest of the blue team starting to move in, there's still the chance to engage into a fight once that the boss is down. They definitely have the tools, especially around the cocoon, that they could use at any moment, and if Death Knight gets a good connect with the Epicenter, that would be fantastic for them. But the boss goes through, and France is just looking at this saying, like, guys, we have to do something here. We need to try and trade. We need to try and do at least get that keep, but I just think they won't be able to. Look at the Riptire, blowing those siege giants to pieces as Dino is moving away, and the boss is defended against too, and here comes the cocoon engage.
Great play there from Junkrat. Gonna have the laser drill cleaned up. Varian's been locked down. There's the impale afterwards. Li Ming floating on the side here, looking for the Junkrat, just trying to peel him off. Drag comes out. It connects. It hits a Nubarak. Is there a taunt available? There wasn't. It was just used, but Tychus will actually fall victim as Junkrat secures the kill.
And it's time to chase, and at this point, Germany is starting to move in. Dino's already sitting at the side there, trying to immediately push them back into the fight. Quasar on the run, but there's the Epicenter connect. And even though the Burrow comes through, that should be the end of him. But Karazim gets blown up first as Li Ming goes in for the kill, and the reset gets it. But now Varian is the second to fall.
Chasing here as Misha is charging forward. Nick doing his best here to dodge out on any of those attacks coming in from Li Ming. Brightwing gonna go ahead and use her Ice Block ability. Phase Shift, I believe, just to make sure that she doesn't get hit with the stun. Blink heals afterwards, but it's gonna cost Ahaka his life, and that's gonna be 3 folks picked off. And the Germans are gonna grab control of the bottom temple. You know, you can't really fault the French team too much for pushing out in the bottom right. You feel that pressure of being on Sky Temple. You got to make a play happen. It just did not work out for them, and this is where it starts to become a situation where it feels like you might be thinking about the next game.
Yeah, definitely, and you're absolutely right. After Germany said, yes, take the boss, we don't care, we're just going to claim your keep now. The French definitely looked at this and said, guys, we have to get some counter value with the boss, and only taking the fort is just simply not enough. We have to try and drop that keep, or we're going to fall farther and farther behind as the game progresses, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. With all the damage against the mid lane, it's not going to drop the keep, but with 2 already down, and this one severely damaged with the last final shots now, this is lights out if they lose a few more heroes, and level 20 is now ready for the Germans, and that gives them another big advantage over their opponent.
Wait a minute, there's a knock into a trap. Misha stun as well. Decent damage, but good spell shield coming in from Brightwing to make sure that Varian didn't lose any health. Able to handle that coming their way, but the 20 is here. And as you mentioned, you take this advantage and you want to push it forward as much as you can. You have 2 options here, either take the keep in the middle lane or go for the kill. The Germans thinking, all right, we can't fully secure the kill, and nor do we want to throw away this game, so they decide to siege instead, and that keep should eventually fall.
Yeah, and if they get the keep, then all they have to do is play it safe, wait for another temple, and play around the opponent. The French have at least a double global. That helps them to defend their core, and then maybe join team fights. It makes it a little bit harder for the Germans to really exploit the situation completely. But they're so far ahead, it's actually insane. If they can get a kill here, then it's lights out. Epicenter comes in, still the damage against the keep, and that one is about to go down. Nick is already working on it, but the Nubarok is also in trouble as Ixia on his Tigers gets stunned down once, twice. They're going for him, and the Riptire kill as Junkrat blows him to pieces. In comes Nick, the kill against Li Ming, and this should be lights out for France.
Yes, the Germans able to handle this late game. Tracer continuing to build up those pulse bombs. Varian will drop down a parry, but it is futile. Brightwing gets locked down by the trap, drops out a nice little ship there, try and stasis through. Banana wanting to escape, but the winged dragon eventually will get picked off. It looks like the Haka might suffer the same fate. Even a tire and a pulse bomb around him. He's dead already! Germans just go kill the core. They turn around after killing a total of 5. Look at the
Germany,
core, drop it down to 40.
They go in, they take the 5-man team wipe and drop the French team on Sky Temple. The lead in the series to Germany as we're heading into game number 4. Hello everybody! Game number 4, Germany in the lead against France. Pretty solid setup on Cursed Hollow. And, well, the French, they have actually picked quite a couple of meme heroes. I'm honestly more so interested what they are going to pick than what Germany is going to walk away with. Normally you would think about Germany maybe dropping the Vikings here with Hazorps or Abatha, but right now what I think is going to be banned by Germany pretty quickly is Samuro.
Why do you say Samuro?
Kiva. Kiva is the Samuro master. One of the Samuro masters. He's pretty much like the French monkey.
Okay. Oh, because of the... Okay, gotcha. Because there's a player named Monkey.
Yeah,
I was like...
not the animal, the player that inspired Athero to play Samuro on HGC.
Yeah, my brain broke there for a second. I haven't heard Monkey's name in a while. Because most people refer to monkeys as like a negative thing, and I still remember from like Alex.
What do you
back
mean
in the day calling
negative?
people monkeys.
They're cute. Even Alex monkeys are cute.
Yeah, even Alex monkeys are cute. It doesn't mean I want the monkeys on my team, you know? Yeah,
That's true.
I dodge those, you know? But, okay, fair enough. If he's that good of a Samuro, makes sense. What I'm wanting to see is some Falstad. I feel like I haven't seen much Falstad today.
Oh, yep.
And I love him on this battleground. I love watching a good macro Falstad. It just makes things inside me tingle.
We're actually seeing quite a few false stats recently again.
Good.
So the bird is definitely back, but yeah, I had a bit of a rough time in the series between Germany and the UK. Zarya gets banned again. Zeratul is also just as Constar banned here. Are we going to see a Tracer ban? No, it's Junker that they're really worried about. All the displacement after any kind of setup through any tank, honestly, but Melganis, of course, in particular, is just super annoying.
Okay, cool. Let's see what we're gonna get banned out here. It's interesting to see that Zarya being banned out, but after game number 1, it makes a total sense. Ball there, as Ixer was incredible on that character. I don't think I've seen a Zarya that good in a while. Ana taken out as a ban. Looks like that Samuro might just be open. Is there a chance that the Germans might want to take it away if it's not picked here?
I doubt it, honestly. If anything, they're most likely going to ban it later. Maybe they'll also just feel, okay, we don't really need to ban it out. But, yeah, Dequaza with Rexar, first of all. But I haven't really seen anyone on the German side really playing Samuro to an extent where I would say they are picking it this early in the draft now. But they are definitely aware that Kiewa has been playing Samuro there. But we have, again, Tracer and Malfurion. That's why I said that I could have totally seen them ban Tracer over Junkrat in this case. Yes, Junkrat is annoying, and I totally agree with them trying to get rid of him, but then at the same time you leave Tracer open. This is what I said at the first game. There are so many preference heroes that we now have on both sides. It's really difficult because you just can't ban everything out. You have to pick your poison.
Well, they're figuring out what they want to get rid of. Oh my gosh, the Abathur coming in. I totally forgot about that character, which I don't know why, because he's banned all the time here in North America. Abathur, Diablo, Rexar. Rexar's going to be more annoying in the side lanes.
Samuro ban. 100%.
That's pretty scary.
They gotta ban Samuro now. Well,
What about Valera, ban?
just no. The problem with Samura is you have already Rexa on the side, so that's a little bit of a weird one. So I'm not sure if they would still be willing to pick it. Yeah, that's why they're actually banning Greymane instead. If not for that early Rexa pick, I think Samura would have definitely been chosen by France either now or banned away from them. But yeah, Abatha is in. I would have expected Abatha more on the side of Germany.
Vikings. I was wondering about a Mal'Ganis ban, but there goes the Vikings. It is funny. Hasuabs for the last 5 years? Oh my gosh, Heroes is almost 5 years old. It just always draws these Vikings bans on big macro maps. Just such a testament to like how good or how impactful he was as a player on that character.
It is kind of funny because most of the time he doesn't even want to play the hero, but it's just like, okay, he just wasted a ban. Great. So, but every now and then he throws them
I enjoy talking. Yeah. Okay, there's that Mal'Ganis we were looking for. And then there's Sylvanas as well. I love the Sylvanas pickup here. One, we've already seen it, but secondly, like typically when you're playing as an Avatar composition, you don't want to give them time. Like if you give them time, eventually they are going to beat you. It's the Avatar factor. So when you bring a Sylvanas into the composition, you have that Black Poison arrow being available to you, so you can force the issue. You can push with a boss. You can say, okay, it is time for us to just shove it in right now. And whenever you get to that point in the game, Avatars usually struggle with it.
Yes. Oh my god. Brightwing again. Okay, big map, you have Abatha. The cool thing about it is you can pretty much turn any fight into a Brightwing, like into a 3 versus 1 on the offlane, because Abatha jumps in with a head, Brightwing comes in too, so there is a bit of a chance for that. By the way, we're not only talking about Diablo with Abatha, we're talking about a symbiote on Misha, which is actually incredibly annoying. So that is a very annoying setup from the French team. But it's a very, very solid team composition from Germany. With the Leo last pick, they are set up for a pretty solid game here. And they already have the lead in the best of 7, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess we're going to jump into Cursed Hollow to see if this time Brightwing is going to find some success for the French team. Or if Germany takes up another victory. Let's jump straight in. Cursed Hollow. Game number 4, France against Germany, the grand final of the Nations Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Best of 7 with Banana H on Abatha, actually, in this game. We have Kirva on Liming, Ixir on Brightwing, Masquerade on Diablo, and Dequaza for the Baguettes on Rexa. Allez le bleu, as on the right side. Germany with X-Ray on Malfurion, Death Knight on Mal'Ganis, Nick on Sylvanas, Hazops on Leo, and Dainu on Tracer Schland. And let's go, I guess. Let's see if Brightwing can actually win one here.
Germany has really been stepping it up, especially when it comes to the team fights in the last couple of matches. Now, the French team is definitely no slouch, right? We saw them on Sky Temple open up and have a good 4 kills by themselves. Were able to open up the map, but the Germans so far have been able to be getting the edge when it comes to macro. Even in the game that we saw won by France, Germany was still able to control the map a bit better, in my opinion. So they are going to be looking to keep up this trend, but this time they're coming with the Sylvanas special, which should allow for them to try and shut down this Avatar play that we're seeing from the French team. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that Brightwing and also be keeping an eye on that Avatar to see how they really make their mark on this game.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, as we have a bit of a pause, we can actually talk about a couple of the things on the map here, because the one thing that I want to highlight again is that we have, with Abatha, the symbiote on Misha, which is super annoying for Hazu. For an offlaner, it is actually like total cancer already if you have an Abatha against you, because every time you think you have the dominant position on the one-on-one lane, Abatha just jumps in and you have to retreat again, or you actually risk dying. And now we have Misha with the Abatha symbiote, which in and of itself is already a huge problem. But I still struggle with that Brightwing pick, not only because I don't really like Brightwing all that much, but you already have a little bit of a pseudo-global with Abatha, so what does Brightwing actually offer at this point? You have a bit of anti-tracer play, but generally speaking, I'm just looking at the alternatives that they could have picked here with the Rhaegar for the additional camp clear, helping also with the potential boss grab, and you could have gone into something along the lines of Malfurion. I can't really help myself, but I feel like another support would have been better for them, not only because of my little dislike for the Fruit Fly, but also because of the Abatha setup. I don't really think that especially Hazops at the top lane, being the solo laner, is going to fall for any kind of Abatha Brightwing shenanigans in the early game, which would give the French team a lead. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you mentioned in the draft the Rhaegar, and I keep looking at it and I keep thinking about it. I'm like, wow, the Rhaegar would have been just sublime here, right? You get Merc camp control, which would have been helpful, which means you don't have to pull Misha off the side lane, which is where you want. You want to have a dominant lane there. You look at Diablo and Li Ming, they don't really do the best cleanup when it comes to trying to deal with a Merc camp. Sure, they can do it, but it's going to take them some time, and now you're pulling away from this idea of having this right wing early game. I think I would have definitely slotted in a Rhaegar there. The only thing that I think a bit different here is we've been seeing Aether Walker from Li Ming, and I keep wondering if they go for the Aether Walker here because you have the natural built-in spell shield from Brightwing, so you can kind of deal with that and not force yourself to pick up that level 1 talent that gives you spell shield. And so I kind of think that's where that combination comes from and allows for Li Ming to be a bit more aggressive with their teleports. But I would have to talk to the players and get their thoughts there instead, and also see more games. I have no idea if Aether Walker is a staple here for Li Ming.
I haven't really seen that much Brightwing from the French team in this tournament so far yet either, so I would have really liked, you know, them going for a bit more of a solid composition right now. I understand that they really feel that this is the way that they're going to take the Germans down, but they have played some extremely solid, more standard games but while still having that option of going into a bit more unorthodox hero with Kieva on the side lane or Dequaza, so I'm a bit weirded out that that hasn't happened to the same extent. And especially with them being behind at this point, they're risking a lot here. They really must believe in that combo, because if they lose this one, then Germany only has to pick one more map up to crown themselves a champion.
They're already making swings to take this map, though. They grab the Night Camp and go for the 4-man Sylvanas push in the middle lane. You're probably going to lose a little bit of experience here, but if you're able to grab the entire wall and get some damage on a 4, you'll be feeling pretty confident. And they get at least one turret and one wall to open up for now, while Sylvanas will split off to the side and start working on the top lane here with Leo, who's been having a bit of a rough time dealing with that hat combo. Meanwhile, Banana will go ahead and use the Biosoak in the bottom lane. Now, Tribute will be spawning in about 20 seconds, and we're going to see who can pull this off. If you're the Avatar composition, getting one Tribute before level 10 is usually your objective. You want to make sure that the Sylvanas composition does not get a curse before that 10 hits.
The one thing I want to also highlight while we're looking at that first tribute and Germany trying to aim for that curse is that we have for Abathar actually also a heavy focus right now into the toxic nests, which when we see Abathar these days is actually not typical. On this map it's good if you want to stop the opponent rotating and you want to slow them down a little bit, and that's actually a freebie here. That was a great stun against Leoric, so a free tribute for France, which is going to alleviate a lot of potential pressure, which you explained earlier. So this is going to get them level 10 100% before a curse happens. But the Abathar combo or the build is still interesting. It's extremely annoying to go up against it. It slows you down, it gives the opponent vision, but it takes away from that aggression that you can really feature in a team fight, especially if you're sending someone like Nisha to the front and have a little bit more symbiote damage available.
Yeah, it kind of screams to me that France believes in their macro play, and if you're able to get vision on whoever's rotating around, or at least see if they're going for a boss or a night camp, you feel comfortable enough that you're able to respawn in time to make sure that they can't be effective the way they want to be. So we'll see how that pays off. As Avatar moves to the middle lane, now he can start setting up the bosses. Because remember, bosses spawn at 5 minutes. He can throw those mines in certain spots or put them on the bush layouts. It really comes down to just controlling that full macro. Now, Dino is working on grabbing that tribute here on the right side for Germany, with Diablo showing up and Rexar here to help control that front side. They're going to be able to grab the tribute, but Germany looks like they want to fight as Death Knight is starting to rotate in.
Yeah, Germany is definitely ready for this one. The last one they were a bit too late, but this time they're playing around this. Abathar helps with the interrupt, that's great. Himself sitting at the top side, Brightwing now at the bottom of the map for the additional AoE. They go for Misha, they take the kill, and that makes it much more difficult now for France to go for the interrupt. So Germany is going to pick up the first tribute for themselves here and going to equalize that position.
Not looking too bad for the French team. If you're able to stay pretty even experience maybe level 10, you're pretty happy. And they also got Mule too, so only keep an eye on Sylvanas, which is what Brightwing is doing right now here in the bottom lane. Then they should be able to get the 10 nice and safe. I'm just curious about how they're planning to handle these team fights. Like Mal'Ganis and Leo against a Diablo is going to be difficult to do. You don't have the best healing, but at least you have Spell Shield.
Like, one of the issues is really just this constant pressure that we're having from Nick with Sylvanas the entire time. They push to the middle without any problems whatsoever because they had the camp and there is just an Abathur composition against them. Now they broke the wall at the bottom of the map, and all of these things happen without them having to put really a lot of effort into it. They make good rotations, they end up with 2-3 heroes on the lane, and then with Nick they just burn down structures, they burn down the walls, and they slowly and steadily open all of this up. And the French team has to stop. They have to stop this at some point. If they don't do that, then they're going to run into huge problems in the mid game.
Speaking of problems, Diablo's sleeping right now, and that 10's about to hit for the German team. Death Knight walks in, gets a knock up on Diablo. Here comes the damage. Spell Shield is procs, and Diablo can try to stay alive. Oh man, Leo wishes he had Entomb right now. He wants to lock on this Diablo. He hits a creepy hand. Not enough for a kill. Now, Rexxar swings on in to try and maybe go for a delay as Misha wants to stop this, but Misha can't get in there. She's too thick, and she was blocked off by too many health bars.
I think they were hoping to get the symbiote connected with Abathur, but it was apparently still on cooldown, so they couldn't interrupt with that either. Now at least we have a little bit of more experience grabbed by Abathur topside, and they're going to grab level 10 together with it. But this is just getting pretty dicey. 2 tributes against 1 in favor for Germany at this point. Again, Brightwing, this time with the Emerald Wind, so they're going really for a bit more of a macro aspect with the disengage here. Even Apocalypse being picked up by Diablo, so for boss fights that's going to be helpful. Especially in combo with Unleash the Boars. But you look at the setup and I really don't know where they're going with this. They won't be able to just play a macro game against Germany the entire time and just disengage with Brightwing and play around this. So where do the kills come from, if not from Li Ming? If Li Ming in any way gets controlled here, be it by Malfurion in the silence, be it by Sylvanas, or anybody else pressured by Tracer, then I just think there is going to be a huge problem for the French team when it comes to actual pressure against individual heroes.
There is always the element of, okay, Sylvanas comps want to push, so eventually they will be near our fort, so maybe we can get a Diablo engage and roll behind it and get the fort to help out / assist in securing a kill. But right now, we have Rexxar in trouble at the top left as Dino goes in. Doesn't find the pick on Rexxar, but it doesn't matter as the blue team will now be cursed. Germany has grabbed 3 tributes and they're looking for a pick. Diablo getting knocked up, but Brightwing is there to assist.
Completes the quest. Now we have level 10 combo, and that's a great combo, and that's the first kill in the game. Nicely done by Kierva. Perfect timing too, but the curse is on, and now as we have the first kill 8 minutes into the game, there's still structures being taken down, and Germany is splitting onto the lanes. They go through the middle. They already are about to grab the fort at the bot lane. Abathur is sitting here, can't do too much. Malfurion on the other hand, he goes down. Nick is trying to rush away as Germany nearly takes the fort in the middle, but can't quite take it. And Hazorps is topside, now starting to take this down too.
Incredible flank there by Diablo. Masquerade came in from the top, swooped around like a bird of prey, dodged straight on top of Malfurion, Brightwing polymorph into a full combo, and Malfurion got completely dismantled.
By the way, we have to talk about something, because this map isn't really getting played a lot, and ever since the XP changes came through, right, where you don't get a bunch of experience when you take down a structure, don't you think that this map is a bit bullshit? Because the map is still great, but the thing that is really weird is, like, look at this. They were ahead in experience, Germany that is. Now they curse the opponent and they're behind. Because they are not able to pick extra experience up through the structures. And they're losing out on lane experience because they don't have a hero on every single lane. I think this is so weird on Cursed Hollow. And of course it gives you a lead from a structural perspective, and eventually you will catch up through the passive experience. But it's such a weird dynamic to have that on Cursed Hollow, where you grab a curse, and at the end of the curse you're behind in experience at first.
I can see what you're saying. Hang on, Masquerade does another combo real quick. This is a big boss fight. Huge silence, but gonna get a nice off Emerald Wind. Brightwing able to keep being alive, but she is struggling. Deathwing, or Death Knight, sorry, going in for an engage. Gets it knocked up. The boss is still being held. Misha and crew try to hold the point. Malganas goes in. Brightwing helps out. And that's going to be a boss here for the blue team. Can they find a Malganas? There's the charge into the wall. Leo with the Entomb on the side, and Li Ming is starting to get low on mana.
I honestly don't know what I'm amazed by more, that Germany went into a 3 versus 5 at some point, or that the French team didn't lose a single hero. I mean, that was insane first of all, we have that wailing arrow from Sylvanas just absolutely homing in. Then even Leo comes back with a double entomb. Dino is playing his heart out on Tracer, dancing around the opponent the entire time. But this is pretty insane. This is pretty incredible, honestly, that they were able to keep everybody alive. And also, good job here by Abathur picking that last kill up. Boss is taken down without dropping the fort, though. But the second one of those is, of course, taken at the bottom of the map in the meantime.
So back to your point about this battleground. On one hand, I can see what you're saying. On the other hand, Germany also lost 2 heroes during that push. And we also, overall, remember when we used to play this battleground?
Just
and
a second.
It used to be...
It's the general point. Like, in this case, there were 2 heroes that were lost too, but you can see this pretty often, and it's just like... You can, of course, soak all the lanes and try and adjust the playstyle completely, but even if you take 2 forts down, you oftentimes end up behind. It's just so weird. And of course, in the long run, you gain the experience through the passive experience again. But I think that Cursed Hollow is affected like no other map by that XP change that Blizzard implemented there.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I obviously need to see more math to see, because I haven't experienced that in my own games, but I've kind of stopped thinking about the game that much lately like this. Oh, hang on. Huge combo here for Diablo. Malfurion once again getting picked off. Man, Mal's just not having the best game. I will say the map it seems like it's been extended longer, though, because remember, there used to be a lot of, like, boss pushes into ending the game.
Yeah.
That it was very, very cheesy, so that's kind of nice that's been fixed, but... yeah, it is a little bit awkward to think about that now that you've brought up that general point.
Well, the one thing that's also a little bit awkward is that Germany is now 2 levels behind and hasn't picked up a kill yet. So they got the curse earlier, but the only thing that accomplished is dropping 1 fort at the bottom of the map, and ever since then France has started to win these team fights. And the French team is really making this combo work, making me eat my words here, and I like it. That guarantees us a few more games if they can bring this the whole distance. But with a kill against Sylvanas, things are looking pretty good for them. There's an attempt to turn this around, but Dino is incredibly low. Banana H nearly gets the kill here with a Li Ming copy, and they go for Mal'Ganis, drop a second hero. Boss is finally taken down, but that keep is gonna fall, and the French team might just try to go for the core.
They might do so. Diablo holding his best here. Tracer gets polymorphed. Another combo comes out. Emerald Wind trying to catch her, but she's able to recall away. And now with Sylvanas spawning in about a few seconds, and Sylvanas' damage is actually quite scary. French team is deciding, okay, maybe we should be backing up. Misha getting low on health, though. Abathur hats will keep her alive. And we'll have the French team walk away once again unscathed.
Abathur is still soaking experience topside, and we have 8 kills against 0 now. 16 isn't ready yet for the Germans, but here comes Leo ghosting away. But that double boss did a whole lot of work, and now we have Germany down completely at the bot lane, losing the keep, continuous catapult pressure against them. 2 tributes in the hands of France, and that means that if they go in and take the third, they will curse the opponent, and the kill against Diablo might just make that happen, but they go for the counter kill. Li Ming alive and gets away. Insane! That would have been the kill that Germany needed, but instead they might just lose Mal'Ganis again. Another wall stun. Masquerade is absolutely bullying them around. He is just playing a godlike game here as everybody on the side of Germany is just scrambling away from the fight.
Yeah, he is, but Nick is also playing incredibly well here, too. It slithers out barely there as Li Ming came in for the kill. Now, Li Ming stuck on the right side. Nick looking for a Brightwing, wants to find that full combo. I can't believe Li Ming is still alive. Finally, she will get picked off. Brightwing trying to go for the phase shift, gets it just in time for the escape. Red team is currently cursed, and Banana H finds a pick on Tracer with the help of Abathur.
Curse is in, and that was a fantastic kill there, just before the copy expired, so it was actually really, really well done. And now we have 11 kills at least against 1, so Germany picks up 1 kill, but now they have to also soak all of that experience that is pretty much delivered into their hands, thanks to the curse. But right now, level 20 is starting to close in for the French team, and they are just so incredibly ahead that they are hammering the Germans into the ground here.
Alright, it's going to be a 4 here for them to pick off. Misha trying to zone out the rest of the opposing team. Tracer won't be here for 5 seconds. Another stun on Sylvanas. And Mal'Ganis will push that away. How much can the French team get here? If they can get that 4, they'd be nice. They're trying to move their way towards level 20, but they're not going to overextend and struggle too much. Remember, they got Abathur during this entire phase that can soak with his hat and has been doing so, which has allowed them to soak all 3 lanes here. Well played by them, and now it's all a matter of just waiting for level 20.
Yep, exactly. And level 20 should be ready. This is the beautiful... the bosses are going to be an issue. I think Germany will have to force a fight over the bosses before 20 is there. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen right now. And of course, the French team is fully aware of that, which is why they are already carpeting the entire floor here with one toxic nest after another. That's exactly what they need to do. Because Germany wants to do this before 20 happens. If 20 happens, the bosses are the most important thing on the map for France, since they would still need 3 tributes to get another curse, and that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Now I need an Abathur skin with him being a carpenter after you said that. Just little overalls, the Abathur just carpets the entire floor. Misha goes in for a charge. They're actually going for the fight for 20. It's going to be a combo on Mal'Ganis. He gets it immediately. Plays out of it. Hasselhoff will back up, and Dino finds a combo. There's the pulse bomb. The Germans trying to find the pick. Recall comes up right away. Diablo is low. Diablo is down as he gets picked off.
Diablo goes down. There was a fantastic combo with the, well, I was about to say buried alive, but it was actually an arrow from Sylvanas after the Entomb that pretty much caused the same effect. Brightwing in trouble, gets interrupted there, and that is another big kill. Li Ming is also on the run. If they can set something up against her, that could potentially be the damage dealer gone on that side. And Germany, they can't, they lose Mal'Ganis, and that's a big problem. Germany needs these bosses. They need to take them away from the French, but France has the Storm talents. The bot lane gets pushed out as Abathur is using the symbiote the entire time to make that happen, and Germany is just looking for the fight. They have to win this one, but it's not looking good. Great engage again for Masquerade. He gets the wall stun, and that's a kill against Malfurion.
That was more than a great engage. That was an incredible engage. Masquerade is insane on Diablo. Give me more Diablo. Another engage, another pushback. Boom into an Entomb here from Hasselhoff. Locks him in. But Diablo's not stuck with Tracer. Tracer was stuck with him. And Sylvanas also gets picked off as well. That's going to be multiple kills as we're going to have the French team running over the Germans, and they turn their eyes over to a boss.
Honestly, the first time that I saw Masquerade on Diablo, that was on a Towers of Doom game, and he literally just 1v5 the entire time.
Dude,
it was honestly crazy. And after that, his Diablo got actually banned out over and over again for good reason. But now Diablo in Europe has actually fallen off as a main tank, and is not played that often anymore, but in this case you can really tell why he was always so fucking scary on that hero.
My god, this kid is insane on Diablo. Like, you pick him, first pick, all day, every day, I don't care, man. Like, he is muscling through these fights. That flank over the wall into the combo on Malfurion? Like, I'm changing my pants later. That was incredible!
Oh, and in this case he gets stunned out. We've seen this.
You know what, let him have it.
Yeah, top boss is attacking the keep any second, but Germany knows they have to go for the bottom of the map. If France soaks this one, if they have this, this is game. Boss, 18 minutes in that situation, who is going to stop that thing? Germany needs to force the fight. There's the Entomb, the buried alive, but again, Diablo comes in from the side. Can he sustain himself though? Jumps out with the Hellgate. The fight is still ongoing. Hasselhoff is a little bit low. They're trying to get the kill against Brightwing. They take Misha down, but it's still Li Ming that rushes away, and the bosses are starting to hammer down the German base. Li Ming again escaping. Are you fucking kidding me? Kieva just doesn't die.
Those teleports coming in. Now the double boss is currently hitting the core. Germany, knock knock. Who's there? It's not the 3 little pigs. It's 2 bosses as they push in this top lane. Banana even out of the way. Slap the core. Do it, Banana. He slaps the core. Banana's the best player in the world. He's hitting the core. 20, 17, 15. It's going down. He gets the final slap. Banana is a legend.
GG, Germany loses on Cursed Hollow.
Have you seen the Baby Shark workout?
I have seen the Baby Shark workout.
That thing is insane.
Dude, I linked you the Baby Shark workout.
Was that you?
Yes.
Oh, I think it was you. Yeah,
Of course it was me. Who else would link you something like this?
I watched that and I was like, dude, if I do this, I could have abs. But I was like, but if I do this, I'll die. So...
Did you... Okay, if anybody actually wants to check it out, go to YouTube and look for Athlean X, fantastic fitness channel anyways, and the Baby Shark workout, and then you can kill yourself a little bit. Yeah, have fun with that one. Because Tim is actually an absolute gym rat right now, and is absolutely crushing it. He has a 6-pack, 0% body fat, and is just like flexing all day long on the beach.
I have a different definition. I would call it the cookie dough physique. You know, like I just, I could be molded into something nice, but it's a little chunky in places it doesn't need to be chunky. You know, like it's whatever, man. But you can call it 0% body fat. That makes me feel nice. Just don't lie to people. All right.
All right. Alderic pass, everybody. Game number 5. Yeah, France pulling it off actually on the last map with a really cool setup. A lot of momentum that they gained, and then they ran the pain trains there over Germany. Some people, of course, believe that the Germans like that, and I won't deny anything here. But Zeratul gets banned again. It's pretty much the same ban pattern that we've seen previously, with the small exception that Germany is just done with the shit that Kiewa was pulling off the entire time on Li Ming and said, no thank you, we're good, no more resets for you. We would rather deal with your stupid Samuro, but we're not going to deal with the Ling Ming anymore. And instead of Samuro,
little do they know,
we get
the
Rek'Sai
real
again.
problem is the Brightwing, man. That's not what they're banning out here, and that's going to be their downfall probably. Now, Furion Rexar, as you mentioned, gets picked up. Will this be potentially a Mal'Ganis pickup, or do you think they'll be sticking with their power picks?
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that you said someone should ban Brightwing. I would pay my opponent money to pick Brightwing. Easy wins. All day, every day.
True.
Tracer,
the Tracer
gets picked. I think Germany is picking up the Mal'Ganis, if anything. I don't really think that Masquerade is going to jump on that. No.
Death Knight has been enjoying the Mal'Ganis, and he's been playing great on it too. I was hoping maybe we can get a little bit more Diablo, but Diablo's a bit harder to pull off on this battleground.
I am still waiting for Sergeant Hammer. We all know that we all know what the Germans can do with tanks, so let's pick her up again. Where's my Hazu and the Hammer? We just don't get it.
We get a Genji instead.
Yeah, we have actually seen that once against the UK, but it was a last pick, and it was a very different setup. It was also against Tracer, if I'm not mistaken, though. But I'm a bit surprised that they're locking in this quickly. Mal'Ganis, by the way, as we already both expected, is getting locked down again. I don't think that shocks anyone, honestly.
Yeah, totally. Let's see here. What are we going to get for a ban from the French team? Thinking some wave clear. Oh, this is the Hammer you were asking for. Wow. Okay, so Hammer will get banned out.
Yeah, I feel like the French team is going full Polish at this point. They steal Rek'Sai away from Hazu, they steal Tracer away from Nick. At this point, I'm just waiting for them to steal a few more heroes away here. It's actually kind of insane. The Baguettes are starting to completely outdraft the German team when it comes to, at least when it comes to like their preferential picks here. I mean, you look at the bans and the first 2 picks that they have, and that's like just hands down 5 heroes that Germany has been playing over and over again.
I was thinking about some poke here. I was like, oh, maybe a Junkrat could be great to pick up, but Junkrat was actually banned on out. Usually you want to have poke so you can try and slow down the channel phase here on Alderic Pass. One character in particular that's actually pretty decent as a main tank is Stitches on this map, actually, where you'd be able to get picks. Problem is that nerf that hit him a few patches ago makes it a little bit harder for you to find the hooks over the walls. We're going to get the ETC instead, and the 4th pickup is going to be the Brightwing once again.
They really believe in their Brightwing, this time against Genji, not against Tracer. Banana H for now. They also, I mean, in theory, you still have Abathar open, by the way, just saying, because you're looking at Tracer with Abathar and Brightwing with Abathar and Misha with Abathar. Then again, Germany could pick it too. Genji Abathar is a pain.
Yeah. And you could pick up like a Greymane or something here. Oh, there's a Greymane. It's going to be a Blaze. Okay, no Abathar, but we'll get a nice front line, a juicy front line. My gosh, those are some beefy boys.
Put Ixer back on Brightwing. He's a strong Brightwing player, no matter how shit that hero is. And Banana H back on Abathar. That's actually a setup that they could go for now. Unless they're really worried about how well Germany could push in the lanes at the start with the Greymane now in the setup.
Is their wave clear good enough to handle the Merc camp? Yeah, they have Misha ETC. It should be fine.
There we go.
Yeah, there's the Abathar.
There it is. Yeah, you have the Rek'Sai combo, you have the combo with Tracer, you have the global setup. So, I mean, Germany must have known this is an option. They must have debated whether they should go into Abathar themselves or let it pass. And so they can't be surprised by this one. But France is believing in their chance, and I like this combo actually way more than the last one on Cursed Hollow, which they won. So right now, game number 5, ladies and gentlemen. Who takes the lead here at the Nations Cup in the Grand Final? Game on! Game number 5 in the best of 7. One of the teams is going to take the lead here. We have Kiewa on Tracer. Tequaza for the French on Rexa. Banana H on Abatha, Ixia on Brightwing again, and Masquerade on ETC. Very, very similar setup, at least with the core heroes here that they had on the last map, where they were super successful in the mid-game. Germany definitely saw that coming in the draft, and let's see how they're actually going to pull it off this time. They have a good setup themselves. X-Ray on Malfurion, Nick on Greymane, Hazops on Blaze, Dainu on Genji. Death Knight on Mal'Ganis. There's a lot of pressure, there's also a lot of potential wave clear and structural damage that they can dish out with Greymane in particular. But also a little bit of a different setup here from particularly Abatha, as he now has the combo with Tracer, so we don't see that Toxic Nest build, but instead more so the focus into the Symbiote.
I like the Abatha also coming in here too against that Greymane, because you were talking about him being able to split push and get on top of towers, get on top of forts even if left unchecked. Abatha, although he won't be able to stop a Greymane, at least he slows it down enough with the hat that makes Greymane think twice about fully staying there, which is always nice. And we'll also keep an eye on him when he's keeping a hat on Tracer, like there. We just saw him do some damage to Blaze, who will be looking to hold that top lane. Lane setup's not too bad here. It's all about who's able to grab that Merc camp first, which we should be seeing Greymane do eventually. That camp on the very far right is probably one of the strongest Merc camps besides the Samurai, and of course bosses, in the game.
And I'm also a bit curious to see how actually the shot calling is going to work out for Germany, because I feel that on the last map they definitely gambled a bit when France started to attack the boss at the top, and they said, guys, okay, let's fight for this one, we can take it. And when they then lost multiple heroes and lost the boss too, it was more or less the beginning of the end, because the French team picked such a big experience lead at this point that Germany never really recovered from it and had huge trouble getting even close to the experience that the French team had. So shot calling could be a little bit more defensive now on the the fifth map for Germany, against a very, very similar setup to what the blue team ran in the last game.
Speaking of setup, man, this sustain for the blue team is incredible. You already have Rexar who can keep Misha alive. You have Prog Rock being built into, which is wonderful. It's going to be able to bolster out that lack of healing that Brightwing doesn't really bring into a composition. And then you have Abatha on top of it. Kills are going to be hard to get. Speaking of kills, Masquerade moves in, gets a power slide, gets the knockback. That's going to be a dead Malfurion here. First kill of the game going to France.
And this is actually one of the criticisms that I had of X-Ray a few times already. Generally speaking, I think he plays a quite strong Malfurion. His problem is oftentimes just the positioning and overstaying a little bit. So he is focused very, very heavily in a lot of the fights, and this is exactly what happened there again. He was just a little bit too far out. On that hero, he doesn't have any chances to get away that easily. So before level 10, when he can also help himself a little bit through the heroic, being it Tranquility or Twilight Dream, he is oftentimes vulnerable to these situations. Nice setup here, and Genji goes down. Great coordination from the French team. They're actually playing perfectly around these CCs now.
My god. Masquerade is probably the player that I'm most surprised about today. Granted, I haven't been paying attention to meta play as much as I have lately, but this guy makes me happy.
The slut!
Oh, wait, is he fine? Is he okay? Whoa.
Wow.
You can't be mean to Abatha, he's just a little bug.
Sorry, I interrupted you. They were talking about Masquerade, but that was just like too insane. If he would have picked up that kill, that would have made Hazu God immediately. But yes, Masquerade on the tank line, he is pretty crazy here.
Yeah, he reminds me of a mini Breeze back in our HEC days, just being able to find the picks and just serving them up for his team. You love to see a confident tank player. Those are very rare nowadays to find, and especially ones that can just be so demanding in a team fight to deal with.
Yeah, well, for now, he's actually sliding out here and needs to be careful since Genji nearly followed that one up. But Germany is trying to grab at least the objective. It's actually interesting because usually you don't have the objective focused this quickly. It's normally something that, well, only happens if you have Abatha, as we see here. Because traditionally what happens when Alterac Pass is played on the competitive level is that most teams fight for their level 7s before they engage into any kind of fight over the prisoner camp.
Yeah, you just don't have the resources to delay it, right? It's too difficult. Speaking of difficult, power slide in. Phase shift coming in to keep Masquerade alive. Nice knockback, but Brightwing might just be in trouble. No blink heal available for him yet. Mal'Ganis comes in, gets a knockup. What the heck? What? Ixer able to... Okay, just kidding. Here comes Genji from across the map and finds the kill.
That was one of those moments where he said, you're getting the kill, I think you will be able to pick it up yourself, right? And then nobody goes for it, actually. But that was insane. He nearly walked away from this. Instead, Brightwing goes down as finally we have Dino getting the kill secured. Here comes the kill against Rexa, and they are going to take the objective. And this is really... This is the one thing that France was probably a little bit afraid of, that Germany is able to do too much damage in the early game and get far ahead before there is a level 10 available. But you look at the mid lane, and thanks to the push, there is actually, with the help of Abathon, the camp that they took previously, a fort that got destroyed on Germany's side. So a really cool setup for France, and they're going for the kill against Hazu, and they pick it up as Tracer gets the support from Abathon, and they go in for the kill. The French team, they have found their rhythm for sure, and they're doing fantastic here.
They're really threading the needle here on a lot of their engagements, and it's been working out for them. Especially when you consider that they took out the fort, as you mentioned. Them taking that out is pretty massive. Typically, when you're dealing with an early push on Ultra Pass, typically you can handle the aggression coming your way. However, with them having an Abathur, there is a good chance that they might lose a fort if Germany is able to set up on a lane. But speaking of setup, Genji in trouble, diving a little bit too far, gets killed in the top lane by Rexar, and at the same time, Tracer gets a kill on Greyman in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they were going in for the engage, and it was just like the ETC slide and then pushing them back. That guaranteed one kill. This time Malfurion actually got away. But 5 kills against 2 and a level lead. This is pretty much telling you all that you need to know at this point. France is playing around this setup just absolutely perfectly. And Germany allowed it. I mean, it was something that was becoming pretty obvious, especially after they started to pick the Tracer, that there is an option for the Abathur setup. And towards the end, there was an opportunity for Germany to maybe pick Abathur themselves. They have the Abathur player with Harzorps, but now they were apparently confident enough to deal with it this time. But as I said in the draft, this particular composition I like even more than what they had on the last map. And the last map they won pretty handily after they started to snowball it. And this is pretty much what we're seeing again here on All Direct Pass now.
While we're talking about things as well, level 7 talent pickup here for ETC is actually Hammer-On. Not something that I've seen too often. Has that been a bit more common here in Europe, or is this more of an adjustment to try and focus down one target?
More of an adjustment. It hasn't really been super common on ETC, to be honest.
Okay, I like it. Because they're just trying to kill one target, right?
Yeah.
CC them, all damage, ASAP.
With that, what they're doing right now, it definitely makes a little bit more sense. We've seen this earlier when Genji was trying to make his move in, that immediately you have a power slide from ETC, and then of course that attack comes through. You can push, Brightwing can go for the polymorph. There's a lot they can do with this. Boss this early in the game doesn't really do a whole lot. It breaks through the wall, but it doesn't take down the forts. That's at least a bit of a relief for Germany. But Masquerade is already waiting in the shadows to see if he can maybe not only, well, anchor plays, but also maybe set something up if Tracer moves in together with Abathur again. Yeah,
Masquerade's feeling himself right now. He is playing very well. He feels like he's looking into the Matrix and seeing all the code. He is ready for any setup and any aggressive play possible. Now, we're going to have Misha on the top right already holding this front line. Great micro here by Rexar. They're going to get an immediate channel as Ixer is able to grab the channel phase, and they're going to start building towards the next push.
Yeah, Germany definitely had a lot of momentum in this series, but it has all been evaporated. Game number 1, I mean, in theory, you can make the argument that Germany should have won the first game, but the French team turned it around, and after Germany then tried to go for the double win and took the lead in this series, it really seemed like they had all the momentum they needed, but now all of a sudden it's turning it exact other way. Here comes the copy as both of the teams are going in. Their Quasi is low, the copy is about to go down, but they're not focusing properly. ETC finally falls, the copy is eliminated too. The objective is stopped just barely, and they're starting to make the play now on the other side. Germany picks up a kill, and it couldn't have come at a better time because the French team was starting to walk away with this.
My golly, that X strike was massive. Dino out here looking for treasure. X landing on top of 3 targets and just breaking down that front line. Of course, he had the backup from his Mal'Ganis and his Blaze. Hang on, though. Mal'Ganis in trouble. There's the pulse bomb again. And the French team fights back. ETC's on his way. They'll have some cooldowns. They'll have another pulse bomb being built up, and they're looking to get that 2.6 remaining seconds.
That Tracer setup with Abathur is just, it's crazy. If you have a great Tracer player and then you on top of that have also Abathur, you can go for kill after kill and they pick up another one. 7 kills against 3, level 13 in their hands. France is just shitting on Germany at this point. They lost the ATC a bit earlier, but then Frenchies turn it around again. and the Bleu are just like walking down lane after lane. Now they have the objective, they have leading experience, they have the additional talent, they have Abatha in their midst, and Germany is just looking at this and they're just trying somehow to stop the bleeding, but they haven't really found the angle yet.
It all comes down to finding a pick on that Tracer. That's really the bread and butter of this composition, besides that comes in from the French team. They need to find a way to get there. At some point, Greymane and Genji will just have to make the full-on dive, especially after a recall, and try to pick her off. They just have to play around that polymorph. Masquerade in the middle lane, trying to bolster out this push coming their way, and he's going to be able to power slide out, which gives a chance for Rexar to rotate over and land a charge. Can he find it? Polymorph doesn't find the full kill, but they at least push back Germany while the rest of the lanes are pushed out.
Yeah, top lane, that's where Blaze is currently dealing with the cavalry, so he's taking this one down. The rest of the rotation to the bottom already happens as Dino gets the kill against Misha, but there's still a cavalry breaking through the wall down here. Still a one-level lead also for the team in blue. Germany hasn't given up on this one yet, nor should they. But they need a win, and they need it soon. They're trying to go for Tracer finally to punish Kierva, and Kierva just walks away again. X-Strike and still no kill.
Brightwing with the blink kills, the blinks away. Genji tried to find that last kill. I believe he went down to under 50 HP, but it just was not enough. A slight advantage keeps him going, and now Tracer, after tapping up, goes back in for more.
Yeah, Tracer again coming straight through this one. It's really just a bit of a lockdown question at this point too. They're having insane problem doing that against Tracer, but at least they get it through against Rexar, and they are able to drop him again. Another 5 versus 4. Here comes the second setup as they're trying to make the play for Masquerade, but at the same time, we're seeing X-Ray in a little bit of trouble as Tracer jumps straight onto Malfurion and tries to connect the bomb there. Move to the top. Abatha is ready for it, is already moving away. And they need the experience, and I think they're trying to go for the boss, but you look at the Slug and he's down at the bottom of the map trying to push against the keep.
Yeah, this boss isn't the scariest boss in the game. Sure, it'll push a little bit and maybe do a little bit of damage, but Abathur actually bottom lane is more scary in my opinion. Now, there is a mosh pit available for ETC. Masquerade can be a nuisance here, and Tracer and crew jump on top of Death Knight again. Carry-On Swarm comes out, they kite back and are attempting to hold their own, and they get them off the boss, which was the main objective.
X-Ray was also going for the ult here, but he didn't get quite as much out of it as he was hoping for. In comes Masquerade, there's the stun. Death Knight is down as Kierva is looking for another target, finds it, and takes them apart here. It's honestly getting a little bit nuts here. Kierva is just dancing all over the map, and we are definitely looking at either a Tracer pick or ban on the next map, no matter how this map ends. He's on 30,000 damage right now, hasn't died yet, and is just ripping them apart. If you have Tracer empowered by Abatha, it's such a threat, even if it's a 5 versus 4. If Tracer gets a lockdown on any hero in the backline, the mobility on that hero is just going to guarantee you that you have always the option to get a kill.
My god, Masquerade must love his steak rare because he is playing this beefcake so well right now. I can't keep my eyes off of him. Immediately they get over here and start controlling this channel. He'll be the one to start the channel, but just watch him in the team fight. He just controls both Blaze and Mal'Ganis in the best way possible. I can't even explain it. I am just living for his gameplay right now.
Yeah, this is honestly, the French team controls this so extremely well right now. And this is honestly one of those few instances where Brightwing can actually, all the hate aside, be a super valuable hero. It's very similar to what Fnatic did back in the days with that triple global combo. Ixia at this point is able to get away, but might still die here. Is going in again, but just look at Kierva going in for the kill once more. Brightwing survives too. That level of coordination, that makes playing a hero like Brightwing possible. And this combo with Abatha, the global, Tracer, even Misha at the front is just too difficult to handle. And while this entire fight is unfolding, that boss is still pushing through the top and is starting to threaten the first keep now too.
Yep, get some decent damage on there. It is low on health, but at least it forces the German team to pull back, which opens up the window for the French team to move in and start once again channeling for the objective. I believe this will be their third Ultra Pass push for the map, and with Abbott, they're constantly breaking down all the exterior lanes as well. They'll be looking to get pretty far here.
That's the second. Germany actually picked up the first one, but they didn't really get a whole lot out of it. But of course, as it scales, it becomes so much more dangerous. And Germany is just sitting there the entire time. You never really have the feeling that Germany is the team that is all of a sudden, you know, pushing the agenda and making the moves. It's always just France dancing around it. And even if they're forced into the fight, they manage to turn it against them. I'm really, really impressed by the setup that they have for this. The first time that they tried to execute something on those lines on Sky Temple, they got absolutely dominated after a strong early game. But here it's the complete opposite. They're in full control of this game, or at least it seems that way.
Well, to set up this middle lane, here comes the jet propulsion. Suave tries to lock down on target. Masquerade gets fully healed from Brightwing with the phase shift coming in. It will be down for a certain amount of time, but here is the objective as it pushes straight into the keep. And remember that keep in the top left is currently bare. And if they can keep them hold down here, oh my god, that was a massive stun. Banana H gets picked off. Oh no, he recalls it there with the clone, as Nick and crew are still trying to do damage while dealing with the objective.
Yeah, and of course the top keep is about to go down. The one in the middle is nearly destroyed. The armor shields are going to be gone from that boss just so quickly. The core will be wide open. 2 are down. There's another setup. They want to get the kill. Azu with the unstoppable thanks to the new habits. Malfurion with the ult. They're trying to turn it. At least Misha is down. The core is already taking damage as they're trying to make the play for Masquerade. He's a bit low, but he still slides out. And in comes Tracer with an attempted kill against Genji, but they're moving in again. It's party time. Make the Germans dance, baby. Dance, my puppets. But ETC is finally dead.
ETC finally gets picked off. Saw the immediate focus on him to try and kill him as he was low on HP. The rest of the crew are trying to retreat. Ixer should be able to have someone to blink to soon. Waiting for Rexar to get in position. There it is. Ixer able to escape, so they lose 1, but they got 2 keeps, so it's all said and done.
This is... It's an impressive performance by the French team. They're playing fantastic. And now Germany will have to face off against level 20 talents for the next objective, and this is not going to make matters any better for them. So what Germany is doing is the only thing they can do. They go immediately for the boss. They're trying to get an advantage through the boss, at least for now. There is a 5 versus 4 in their favor, so they should be able to pick this one up pretty easily. The question is just simply, what are they going to do afterwards? Because with level 20 talents in the hands of France, it's going to be nearly impossible to win a fight.
Asu may have gotten caught out. This may force the red team to come back and help him. They're thinking about it. Meanwhile, top and middle are pushing. Tracer just trying to buy time. Get stuff comes out. There's a bunker for Hustle to stay alive, but it doesn't matter. Avatar Hat finds the kill. Genji locked down 2. That's 2. This might be game, Khaldor.
Yeah, this could definitely be game. They're definitely going for Genji right now, and even if he is able to Swift Strike away, they're going to pick the kill up one way or another. And you just look at the map, they're going to get the keep at the bottom of the map, and they can definitely go for game here. I mean, at this point, what else are you going to do? It's just absolutely insane. This was an insane combo for the French team, and it's Germany's own fault. I mean, they knew in the draft group was coming. They must have known. And they said, well, we can deal with this. They were confident enough, and they were proven wrong. And on the next map, they have to make sure that this doesn't happen again. They have to get rid of Avatar. They have to get rid of Tracer. They have to make a choice here. They have to look at one of these heroes and say, like, how do we destroy this combo? How do we make sure that France doesn't end up with it again? Because they are confident in playing it here, and for a very, very good reason. Crazy good setup from the French team, and a well-deserved victory in game number 5 of this best of 7 series. The grand final, we're heading into map number 6 with a lead for France in this Nations Cup. Game number 6, ladies and gentlemen. Potentially the last map in the series. Yeah, the French actually killing it here. The combo with Brightwing and Abathar, really powerful for them. One time played with Liming, the other time played with Tracer, and especially the Tracer setup was definitely a lot more dangerous than when they played the combo with Liming. That setup was just absolutely insane. Another core hero of that composition so far was also Rexar. So they pick a lot away from Germany here. It actually is a really cool approach. They ban out specific key heroes that they don't want the Germans to have, then they pick a few of them away that also neatly fit into their own compositions. By the way, I should have probably mentioned this as we headed into it. Tim Trixler, he had to go. He had some real-life obligations, so he could unfortunately make it through the entire series. We are already on map number 6, so this lasted quite a bit. So at this point, you have to make do with me. But yeah, I started to just like go on, but we talked obviously on the live stream a little bit about it, but not really at this point. So it was actually really, really cool catching up with him here again. And the plan is still that he comes over to Europe next year at some point, and that would be quite fun. We would definitely make a couple of streams happen while he's here. He's still trying to convince and force me into doing some Let's Dance stuff with him. Kind of similar to the, let's call it the mini party that we had when I actually left the US. We'll see if that happens. When it comes to the bans, pretty much the typical thing happening. First of all, Zari gets banned out. No super strong setup is happening here for France in the 4-man. We have also Anna getting banned again. And what are we gonna get rid of from France's perspective? Very different ban patterns right now. Zeratul is still up, Sergeant Hammer is still up, just to name 2 examples. And this time Hazops goes straight into the Rexa pick. So they're already trying to work on that combo here. Now, the one thing that we have to still throw out there is this is obviously a super different map from what has been played before. So, of course, we've been talking about this Rexa, Abyssa, Tracer setup and everything that has been done by the French team on the last 2 to 3 maps. But at the same time, this map breaks that pattern a little bit. So that's why we see adjustments in the draft already happening. Malfurion gets picked. That also makes it a bit more difficult for Germany to pick Tracer at this point. Li Ming, again, locked down by Kieva. I mean, he was so successful with the hero that Germany even banned Li Ming on the last map, and she is just always a super secure pick on Battlefield of Eternity. Incredibly powerful there. But let's see what we're gonna have on the side of the Germans, because this is really where they have to show their cards a little bit. Vala gets taken. Okay, that's already a good setup for sure. And again, Mal'Ganis. I don't really mind that Mal'Ganis setup at all. I think Germany walked away on the last map with a pretty solid draft too, but they just failed to counter the combo on the other side and were apparently confident enough to think that they could deal with it given the setup that they had, which was a good one, but were proven wrong here, as we could see. So I'm pretty sure if it comes to a 7th map, which would be Dragonshire if I'm not mistaken, we are definitely going to see some bans that will address that combo and shut it down early. But either way, Rega gets banned out now too, so that leaves us on the support side with even a potential Karazim, which has sometimes been picked on the map too, normally with more aggressive compositions that have then be taken there. But there's a little bit more, of course, available for X-Ray. I mean, he played a super solid deck Arcane actually earlier. That's maybe not the hero that you see all the time on this particular map, but still, when he played it on Infernal Shrines, that looked quite strong, especially the ults that he was able to push out. Now, Garish gets banned too, so that leaves us at the front line, even with heroes like Johanna, which can delay everything with a blind a little bit when there is an actual race for the Immortal. Battlefield of Eternity, we still need also an offlaner for France, so they could pick the early one here. Set up with Blaze and Johanna would still quite strong, but they go Blaze ETC, which is also super powerful and annoying. Multiple stuns. Masquerade has already shown how strong he is actually on ETC and just the front line in general. And now, how is Germany gonna round that draft out? Support is gonna be super important now, and also what are we gonna get from Dino. It's all about the 4-man at this point. They needed a bit... Oh, Anduin for X-Ray? Okay. God. Okay, Alarak. Okay, now we're talking. Aggressive setup from Germany, ready to set all of this up now, and we'll see how this pans out for them. But that definitely has the potential to execute some really strong combos against the French team. I wouldn't mind the 7th map. I would absolutely not mind seeing the game going the full, or this match go the full distance, because so far this has been pretty epic. I mean, honestly, the games were great. Even if it ends here, it was an amazing experience already. And Sergeant Hammer gets picked against the Germans. Yeah, look at that. Germany now all of a sudden has to face the music. And it's Hammer time. The tanks are in. Ixia is locking that one down. And that brings us to Battlefield of Eternity, our 6th map in the series. And theoretically, it could also be the last map if the French pick up another victory. So let's jump straight in. Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 6, ladies and gentlemen, and the French team with Banana H on Malfurion, Kirva on Li Ming, we have Masquerade on ETC, Ixia on Sergeant Hammer, and Dequaza on Blaze. On the right side of the map, the Germans with X-Ray on Anduin, Nick with the Arrow build, Vala, Dino on Alarak, Death Knight on Mal'Ganis, and Hazops on Rexa. Yeah, the Germans have been bullied around a bit on the last 2 maps and definitely taken a big beating there. If they want to have a chance to crown themselves the European champion, they have to start the comeback right here on Battlefield of Eternity and carry that momentum into the last map, which again should be Dragonshire. So let's see how this is going to work out for them now. Already we're seeing a little Blaze Snowflake start to rotate topside, but it's really Sergeant Hammer that we have to watch out for. Actually, it's not quite only two. I mean, Sergeant Hammer is going to play a pretty critical role here, but Kieva on Liming again should also have some nice engages. Already Dino is starting to set this up. Again, he's going to be super crucial in this situation. With Alarak, needs to control Sergeant Hammer and execute some combos against heroes like Liming as well. Now we have topside, our little engage here. Hazobs finally has access to Rexa, which was denied to him in most of the games, either picked away or banned out against him. But yeah, this is going to be crucial. Here comes the setup attempt. This is a bit scary. If Mal'Ganis sets something up with a good sleep for Alarak in particular, then you can get a lot of damage out with this. So this is definitely going to be a big deal. If you are able to set this up as a combo, and then you have someone like Vala coming behind with the extra damage, it's going to be pretty nuts. But of course the position is quite nice for France down here at the bottom of the map, because they can make the plays around Sergeant Hammer. There's still telekinesis that could be used now too, but it seems like the blue team is going to walk away with the camp at the bottom of the map, especially since Blaze made the rotation down, so that's a 5 versus 4. It allows, on the other hand, Hazorps to push the wave in, and he's now going to try to shut the Quasar down on the rotation, which didn't quite work out, but a few of those minions still got lost, so you only picks up the ranged minions at this point. So a little bit of experience lost to the French team, which isn't going to play the biggest role just yet, but you can accumulate small advantages over time as you do this. In this case, it's not going to have any big consequence, but it was a good thought process from Hazorps for sure. And you have to give kudos also to Blaze, who made the safest rotation he could possibly go for to avoid exactly that from happening. Ether Walk again on level 1 for Liming. Arrow build is going to also continue soonish with a quest talent on level 4, which would allow Nick to really start stacking the damage and work towards the extra bounce on the RNG arrow. Yeah, and then especially in this case now, of course, also the negative lead charge taken for Alarak. And the immediate acquisition of 1 stack as he gets the first one through. Siege Tactics also in for Sergeant Hammer, and especially after level 7 when we have the hovering siege mode, Hammer is going to be an absolute pain in the ass of Germany. Now you have, of course, Misha and Mal'Ganis. Plus, in addition to that, also Alarak. So there's actually quite a few heroes that can try and put pressure onto Ixi. It's not going to be easy. And, well, here comes our setup on the objective, and thanks to Monster Hunter, we actually see Germany taking a very comfortable lead on this one. They're about to win the halftime show, actually, without having to make any big moves. Blaze wants to go for the flank, but even that is sniffed out. And there's the save. Anduin, cheat codes activated again as he jumps in with the trade and saves Rexa before he gets locked down and maybe even taken apart. So at this point, the only question is, when is there a move towards the Immortal again by Germany? And that's happening right now as they go for the halftime victory. And they're going to pick this one up quite nicely. Can they take the entire thing? Oh my god, ETC, the combo and the kill! Germany claims kill number 1 in the game. And now they might even be able to go for the first objective. Aggressive position here. And, of course, Nick still working with Monster Hunter. And that's an easy race for them, since ETC isn't back yet. So Germany is going to pick up objective number 1. So far, so good for the German team, as they're attempting to force the draw. And game number 7. Potential setup here again, as Mal'Ganis is moving in. Here comes their move against Vala, though. Vala in trouble, and Nick is alive, and they actually turn the fight against their opponent. Great move against Ixia, and that's the kill against Sergeant Hammer. Nicely done by Germany. Well played. This was the map choice of France, I might add. Germany went after the loss on the last map for first pick, first ban. Nice move into the Immortal stun. Great play by Dino. Couldn't follow up with a kill, but now they have level 7 in addition to the Immortal, so this is going to help them to push the bot lane even more aggressively. 3 stacks at this point for Vala. Could pick up another one now. Repeating arrows obviously going to help. They're trying to set something up against Limay at the bottom of the map. ETC with a great power slide here, though. And Nick with very few errors, but they get that fort. They get the fort, and there's the save. And that Anduin play so far has actually done really well. I mean, honestly, it was good Anduin plays this far from X-Ray. A lot of good saves, and makes it much harder for the French team to get any of these lockdowns. So with that said, 4 stacks on Vala. Actually, Alarak is already sitting at 6 for the negatively charged. Be cautious here. Calamity also, of course, now taken. And both teams are going for 1 camp again. Germany with a fort eliminated, 2 kills against 0. And so far, a pretty comfortable... I mean, it's not really a big lead, but it's a comfortable lead in structures, but the most important thing is it seems like they finally found a bit back to their old rhythm, and not only on the receiving end of the team fights here, because the last 2 maps were pretty dominant after that cursed hollow boss fight that we saw from France. The setups and the amount of CC that they were able to stack was just a little bit too much for Germany to handle. And the Germans, they didn't like that. But, well, for now, it seems fine. And this is actually another thing that they've been doing the entire time. These flanks that have happened the entire time now. Masquerade going to an incredible length just to get that side lane slide in and set a kill up for the rest of the team. And the French team has been doing this on all direct pass. They've been doing this on Cursed Hollow. But this time it seems like Germany is expecting those moves a little bit more reliably. And they pick up another kill against ETC. 3 against 0, and it just comes as the Immortal is about to spawn again. So there is a chance that they're going to try and mess with the Shaman camp on the other side of the map a little bit. Which, as it turns out, they are not going to do. But still. This series is insane, honestly. This series is absolutely beautiful. It's really just super entertaining. And that we even get to map 6 and might head into a 7th is just incredible. Double arrow from Nick as he's trying to drop the HP as quickly as he can with the assist of Monster Hunter. Blaze is still at the top of the map. The cap is just now taken very late, but there's the kill against ETC. Masquerade, as much as we praised him on the previous maps, is having a very, very rough time on map 6. This is the 3rd time, I believe, that he was taken down. Germany now has level 10 abilities, and with those heroics, they will, first of all, be able to easily take the Immortal again. They should also be able to force a fight if they get a chance and defend against the bottom. They're already having Masquerades, Death Knight sitting at the side here with Mal'Ganis, just to make sure that if there is a hero coming through, that they can set another kill up. And this is a great setup. They're slowing this down even so that they can defend against the Shamans at the bottom of the map, since the Immortal is obviously going to travel topside. Yeah, but they might have actually waited a little bit too long, because now level 10 abilities are available on both sides. So they need to still sneak a hero over to dish a bit of damage out. But that was definitely intentional. Oh, jet propulsion misses against Alarak. Now Germany looking for that setup again. Good combo here from Li Ming on the left side. 888 hit points on the Immortal, and France is in full defense mode right now. Full defense mode for them at this point. Again, Alarak getting away from Mal'Ganis. They don't want to stack up too hard here, especially not against the mosh pit. In comes the hit, and another kill against ETC. ETC is just getting murdered in this game. Honestly, I mean, he has absolutely no chance, it feels. Every single time he pokes his head out, it's pretty much just whack-a-mole that's being played here. Alarak with the engage, the light pop engage with a deadly charge, the double kill, and Germany with all the rage that they've been building up over the last 2 games, unleash the damage onto the French team and just hammer them into the ground here. The Germans on their way to the top lane with the Immortal, and that's a big shield that this one is spotting. This is actually feeling really, really good for the Germans now. The French, on the other hand, haven't found a single kill yet, and they need to build some momentum up. And so far, this entire hammer setup is not working for them. No Brightwing, no victory. We know that the French like to go straight in for the frogs, but we haven't seen a single Merc yet. Maybe the tastes of the Bleu have changed a little bit, and instead it's the Fruit Flies right now that they are aiming for. So without Brightwing Abathar, I mean, we know that they are digging the slugs, but let's see what they can actually do with this. There we go. The slugs and the snails. French snails, by the way, absolutely awesome. Tastes a little bit like muscles, to be honest. But yep, with that little tidbit, we have now 13 stacks, 104 sadism, 13 stacks for Alarak on the 4, 11 stacks for, and look at that. There it is, the engage, and get wrecked! That Malfurion kill and the Blaze kill afterwards. These light bomb engages with the deadly charge, I think this is a combo that the French team wasn't really expecting here. And I got to admit that I did not really think that this much of an aggressive setup would be played by Germany in a game where they could actually lose the entire series. 10 kills against 0, nearly 2 levels ahead. Germany is absolute dominant. And Dino in conjunction with the plays of X-Ray is murdering them right now. Fantastic setup here. Alarak is just crushing them at this point. And especially the backline. I mean, you look at Malfurion. Malfurion is just sitting tiny saying like, dude, I can't do anything. He's on me, executes the combo. I can't even pop my ult, and I have no chance here. Instead, they're trying to make a play here, and every single time that they do and finally get a lockdown, X-Ray comes in and says like, not on my watch. Comes in, drops the trade. There's a mosh pit even. I mean, look at this. Mosh pit against one hero. They're desperately trying to find a kill so they can finally build some momentum. But so far, the French haven't been able to pull that off. In comes again another setup. And there's Alarak with another combo. Bunker immediately on the ground, but the fight isn't necessarily over yet. They're waiting for Blaze. They're trying to drop him. Bunker is there. Another combo, another silence, and the damage is coming. Body blocks for Misha. Another kill against Blaze. The top keep has been eliminated. The camp is pushing. 11 kills against 0. In comes Death Knight from the side. They want to make the play for Malfurion. And oh boy, this is hurting. They are getting totally dominated here. The French have crushed Germany on the last 2 maps, especially on the previous one. But right now we're seeing the exact opposite. Germany is so far ahead now. They're stealing the camps away, they're going for the lunch money, and they're stealing their girlfriend too. They're taking everything here. Nobody can stop them. At least that's what it seems like now. If France doesn't pick up some momentum, I don't think they will be able to make anything happen here. There's a realistic chance that we are looking at Game 7 in this series. 17 stacks for Vala. She hasn't even unfolded her full potential. 18 stacks on Alarak on the level 4. And right now, Germany takes the halftime show again. They are on even talents with their opponent. That's the moment when France wants to go for the fight. Even talents, it's the only time they're going to get the even talent setup. This is why they're ignoring the Shaman camp at the top, at the bot lane. They know exactly that they have to make something happen right now. There is no other time. If Germany gets 16, which is going to happen any second, then they have another huge advantage over their opponent. And we already see it happen right here. Do we get that engage again with a light bomb? We could, definitely. 16 talents are in. 18 the stack amount now for Vala. No level 16 taken yet. And we actually go for the Seething Hatred. Misha gets saved too. Misha lives matter. They do. And that's where Anduin drops the tray to save her. Big push towards the top keep. There's catapults and camps coming in, guys. The French are in such a bad spot. It's nearly a checkmate. Here comes the EDC attempt with the mosh pit, and he gets wrecked again. Has no chance. Insta interrupt. They go for Blaze, and the core is already losing its shield. France is struggling. They're looking for a kill, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to find it. The core is going to lose hit points soon on the left side of the map. Blaze is rushing in. Twilight Dream, beautiful, but that's not going to change anything as Malfurion dies. Germany comes in again. They go for Ixer. They're trying to lock him down. They do. They take him apart. The tank is demolished. No tanks against the Germans, and all of a sudden Quasar finds himself very alone in the team fight, and he gets dropped too. 17 kills against 0, 16 versus 13. It's an absolute onslaught, and the French just don't have anything. The pain train is hitting over and over again. The core has already lost a couple of hit points too, and there's just absolutely no mercy to be had in this game apparently. Big Immortal. 14 minutes in, big boy Immortal at this point. They're starting to go straight down to the bottom of the map, and they're going straight in for the last keep. And there is already an attempt to set up a flank. It's the only thing they have. Let the Immortal pass, jump behind them, try to take them down. Germany, they should see this coming. They should see this coming. It's pretty much the only play that is left to France. They have nothing else here. Dino's already spotting it, and he's saying, guys, I found something. They're starting to immediately go for the Quasar. Lockdown, new habits, saves him for now. But look at Death Knight. He's trying to drive a wedge between the French team, and he does exactly that. There's a light bomb set up, but he doesn't go for the deadly charge. A little bit too trigger happy here. This time the combo doesn't work out, but it doesn't necessarily have to. The Immortal is still alive, and that second keep is likely to fall. They're making the play for Li Ming, but finally the kill against Germany. Finally the French team is able to take one kill. They drop Alarak. Can they take more? That's the question. The keep is about to fall, and they should still get... No, Anduin again! And we have a kill against Blaze. Oh, the stats advantage of Germany is just absolutely incredible. And on top of this, of course, you also have the talent advantage. Alarak feeding a bit is not going to change that. And here comes even more damage against the core. It's not likely to fall here, but this is a disaster for the French team. And guys, as I said before, I wouldn't be unhappy about a 7th map. Map 7? Hell yeah, count me in. I mean, seriously. That series deserves a 7th map. Honestly, if you could just go for a best of 11 or something along those lines, I would be a happy panda too. I don't necessarily need to go into only a best of 7, because this has been incredible thus far. 6 deaths on ETC, 5 deaths on good old Blaze. And the only other feeder in this game is Alarak. Dino dying. But again, is there a comeback? Is there a possibility? Keep game 1 in mind. French team was able to turn it around. They're pretty much beaten up throughout half of the game, but then all of a sudden they've won the late game team fights, and that was all that they needed. Death time as high, that was the opportunity. And here it is already. The jump again, it's through the bottom of the map. The attempted plays here, especially of course for Li Ming. In comes the move. There it is against Mal'Ganis, and Death Knight gets saved again by Anduin, the crybaby with the trade. Just keeping heroes alive all day, every day. X-Ray in these situations is proving to be the backbone of the team. 19 against 16, 18 kills against 1. Immortal spawning in 30, but no Storm Talons yet for the Germans. The Germans are sitting tight there, but the core is starting to drop shields again. And this time with both of those lanes already eliminated, and of course Catapult starting to amass at the top lane 17.5 minutes into this, there is just nothing... But France has to send heroes back. They can't just simply watch this. They have to do something about it. And here we go again. 19.5. If they get 20, it would be insane. And already, I mean, with the quest completed on the side of Valor, the double arrow alone with Monster Hunter is just chunking that Immortal down within seconds. And France can't lose another one. They just can't. They go for Alarak. They need... Oh, that's a stun into the Immortal stun. And that is the end of Alarak. Dino on full feet confirmed, as we're seeing France put everything on the line. They dropped the Twilight Dream. They dropped the Mosh Pit. The French team with everything that they have. Germany poking a little bit from the outside still. Nick trying to get into position to poke the Immortal down slowly but steadily on the left side. And again, Li Ming and X dishing out the damage. But of course, we're seeing Catapults moving through the top lane, trying to home in onto their core. And there they are again. Li Ming has to move away. That's a chance for Germany. Alarak is going to be back in another 30 as we have again the outside poke from Nick. Arrow after arrow is being unleashed here as he is trying to set up the lead for his team. But this time it seems that France is just a little bit stronger on the Immortal. They have the 5 versus 4, 56% on the core here. Li Ming still has to deal with the situation, but once again there's the opportunity. France moves in slowly, steadily, trying to go for it. Level 20 talents are in, but it seems like Germany might have to let this one go. Another save as Death Knight was in trouble. Hazorbs finds himself up at the top, and Alarak is back to business. 2 kills against 18, 3 levels behind, but France is fighting for every single centimeter of this map. They want to make sure that they don't have to go to map number 7. They want it to end it right here. Alarak is back, Death Knight is setting it up. The Immortal is nearly claimed. Here comes the light bomb setup. They're trying to go for the kill. They don't get it instantly, but they drop the damage onto EDC, and we might just get the kill, but it's Mal'Ganis that dies first. Mal'Ganis down, and the fight is raging on as another 2 catapults are pushing to the top lane. The camp at the bottom of the map, 2 catapults dishing out against it, but it might still be the end of the fort if no one else rotates down. The Immortal is taken, the French team with the comeback attempt here. They're starting to go towards the top. Alarak already in position, and the core at 56% still. Bot lane forward has been saved by the catapults, and they're starting to push through. And it's all about the top lane right now. The French, they want to get as much as they possibly can. The minimum is the fort. They want the keep. And if they can get kills, maybe they can snowball it even harder. Maybe they can end it all right here. Maybe they can take down the Germans and win this series. Crown themselves the European champion. Misha already annihilated. Bot lane still pushing. Nobody is defending right now on the side of the French team. We have again another catapult starting to come in. That would be the third one on the bottom of the map. And all of a sudden, Germany still with the lead in talents. Have to wonder, is this maybe a little bit too much? Immortal starts to get taken down. 4 kills against 18. Pressure at the bot lane is starting to pull through, but here it is, the battle that could decide the game. Do the French get these kills? Do they find a setup? Alara comes in again. They go for the combo. They take down Malfurion. Malf gets killed. ETC gets wrecked, and with 2 heroes down already, the Germans have it in their hands. The keep goes down. They go for Dequaza. He gets taken apart. Li Ming is sitting at the side. The kill against Sergeant Hammer. Catapult's about to go on the core, and that has to be game. That simply has to be it. The Germans are already on the move. They're making their way down to the bottom of the map. The only survivor is Li Ming, and Kiewa is looking for a side kill, but he's not going to find it here. And as the catapults home in on the core, this is going to be game. We're going to go into game number 7 in this series. What a setup and what an insane grand final at the Nations Cup, as the Germans are victorious on Battlefield of Eternity, as they drop the core and force the last and final map in the best of 7. GG and well played. Game number 7. We are actually here. We have the 7th game, Dragonshire. This is the final one. This is what it comes down to. And now I want to see, how is Germany going to address the situation around... Well, Rexa has to be banned out, first of all, by either one of the teams. I don't give a shit which team bans him out, but this is Dragonshire. You can't let Rexa through here. So that's the first thing to happen. But I still want to see if the entire situation with this, like, Brightwing, Tracer, Abathar is going to be addressed in any way. I mean, if we're honest, it was more so the core principle of having Rexa, Abathar, and Brightwing together. So the globals, the copies, and everything that came through. The damage with Tracer was just absolutely incredible, and of course made the entire thing even stronger. But even with Li Ming in the game before that, it worked out nicely. Zeratul gets banned out against Dino, and there's the Rexa ban. I mean, immediately, you have to address this. You can't possibly let Rexa through on this map. He is still the king of Dragonshire. He would have been the first pick, for sure. So now the ban against him right away. Which leaves Zarya for now open, and Germany might have to leave that up. And Zarya can be incredibly powerful in any kind of form and push that you want to execute. We've seen it on the first map. There's the Tracer ban. So also France is thinking about this. And you have to imagine the pressure the players are under at this point. They're literally sitting there as like, okay, this could all go to hell. This could all go to shit right here. If you make one dumb mistake, if you overlook something in the draft, then we could get screwed right now. And we'll see how that's going to work out. Because at this point, Germany, what is their ban? Are they going to address any of those crucial heroes that we've seen previously? They stay with the Zarya ban. They stay on Zarya. Zarya's ban played in the first game. Don't like that. And here comes Junkrat. Immediate pickup. The entire time they banned him out. Whenever they could. They banned Junkrat out. This time they pick him from themselves. So now Germany has to immediately think about this. Okay, what can they combo with Junkrat? Is there any kind of stun setup where they can go for the engage? Junkrat pushes the target in. They take it down. Is it just a wave clear and the poke that we have to deal with? And the heroes that we have to watch out for Germany. Mal'Ganis, again, has been a constant pickup for them. There is a chance that they're going to go into something along the lines of Johanna plus Blaze. Ah, there's Jojo. Jojo plus Rhaegar. Early picks for this. Also, Ana is still up. That's another one that we have to throw out there. Banana H could pick Ana for himself, which means that they could go into a nano boost setup with Li Ming for Kiewa. That's actually an option right now. That has been denied in nearly every single game before that. So now it becomes a strong option for the French team. There's Ana. And there's Li Ming. Alright. That was obvious. If you go for a Rhaegar, who has of course access on the bot lane to all 3 camps and can easily take them down, but if you go for Rhaegar and for Johanna, with the way that the French team has been playing, has been drafting, it was more or less obvious that Ana would now be taken, since this is the only chance that Banana H had so far to go for his Ana. And Banana's Ana is pretty strong. That's why a lot of people ban Banana's Ana, because if you don't ban Banana's Ana, the Banana gets his Ana, and his Banana Ana is pretty strong. Well, so no ban on Ana this time. But Li Ming, I mean, Kieva's Li Ming has been banned out now several times, so yeah, that doesn't come as a shock. Ban against Vala, totally understandable. I think Blaze would be a really good pickup for Germany still. Leo, of course, also quite powerful, but if you want to go for that extra bunker play, then that would be a solid one for them. They banned out Mal'Ganis since they already had their front line. And, well, let's go. Dino and Nick, the 2 damage dealers. Still have to find something here for them. Chromie gets taken. Okay. And again, Alarak. Alarak, this time without the light bomb. But there we go. Chromie and Alarak. And Hazu is waiting for the opponent's offlaner so they can actually react to it. Chen. Chen for Rayquaza. Triple Panda into the backline. And Masquerade for the front line. What are we going to get from him? Is it going to be ETC again? Diablo. He killed on Diablo. He killed on Dragonshire. And they picked Diablo again. And Hazu's sitting there. He knows what he's up against. He can go for Leo. He can go for the Drain. And that's exactly what he does. Goes for Leoric. The stage is set. Final map. Game 7. This is it. This is the game where we're going to crown the European champion. And guys, let's jump straight in. Germany against France. It's the last map in the best of 7 series. The final game, the final map, Dragonshire, France against Germany. The series is tied. We're in game 7, 3 versus 3. To the left, Ana and Banana. We have Kiev on Li Ming, Rayquaza on Chen. Ixia is playing Junkrat, and Masquerade on Diablo. And on the right side of the map, Nick on Chromie, Hazuops on Leoric, Death Knight on Johanna, X-Ray on Rhaegar, and Dino is playing Alarak in game number 7 of the series. Let's go. On the left side, Vive la France, Allez le Bleu, and to the right, Schlond. Let's go. The Germans, they won the last map. Is that momentum carried over into game number 7? They're starting to fire away here with Nick, who on level 1 went into the Time Walker's pursuit again. Alright, already the displacement from Junkrat, as you would expect. Ether Walk for Li Ming. Continuous setups here from Kieva. He's been sticking to his build the entire time. And against Chromie, we see Diablo with a Soul Shield on level 1. In addition to that, the build has started up. Ooh, yeah, okay, they're trying to get the setup here with Alarak again. He's already starting to move in. And let's see how this is going to work out. Chromie, the little fake dragon, is already firing away as much as she can. Eye of the Tiger on level 1 for Chen. And Leo is going to connect those drains all the way up to the top. Shrines activating, soon TM. And camp focus is ready. And this is really where Rhaegar is coming absolutely through for the team. It's one of the main reasons why you want to pick a hero like Rhaegar on this map, because the Lightning Shield just allows you to get those camps so much faster. The camp control that he is able to supply for his team is incredibly powerful, especially when you have a map with a lot of mercenary camps that you can use to just shift the balance on certain lanes or set up a really strong push with your heroes. And that's what they're currently doing. They take their own Siege Giant camp as well, just a little bit later, but thanks to the camp at the top lane, it means that Leo is going to have a lot of assistance, and it also forced Banana H now to rotate and help out a little bit, which leaves the French team now with a bit of a disadvantage at the bottom of the map. But this is a nice setup with Calamity. Nick would be dead already, but he's able to walk away from this one. Gets the damage in against Li Ming, and there's the slow and the kill. Kieva goes down. Germany with the first blood in the last game of this series. Level 4 talents are ready, negatively charged again. The push all the way up to the top. Banana H with the Ana wave clear. is currently trying to stem the tide that is battling down on that wall, whereas Hazorps just goes for the drain, and Rega is helping out with it too. Germany tries to go for the first Dragon Knight of the game, but at the bottom of the map, Alarak is trying to hold it a little bit longer, and Chromie's in the middle, and Chromie's gonna get it. Dino is willing to die for this one if needed, and the Dragon Knight is taken. It's Leo that they have to sacrifice for it. Hashtag worth it as the DK moves into the middle of the map. The Germans with the momentum in game number 7. They start to take a bit of a lead here on the structure. And yeah, Kieva has to rotate middle together with Chen and Anna to try and take him down here. The wall is eliminated. 2.5 minutes in, the Dragon Knight is obviously not going to crush towards the core. Has to scale over time, but that is already some structures taken down, and the Dragon Knight rotates towards the top and will bind a lot of the resources of France towards the top lane, which allows the bot lane to push now too. Ooh, okay, it's getting spicy here. Leo had to sacrifice himself. Level 7 talent is now in. A proper greeting. Hello would be a good start. Hazuops has to rotate soon, but the Dragon Knight is still active. Using the Dragon's Breath the entire time. This is actually like a nice use of it. So he's just using the wave clear. He's not doing too much with it. He's not YOLOing it in. He's letting it run throughout the entire duration, just using the abilities to control the experience on the top lane and allow the rest of the team to rotate through the map. And we have the camp clear again. But this time it's 4 heroes that move in. And the problem is, this is very likely going to end up in a fight one way or another. Time Walker's pursued, okay, bit of vision granted. They're going for the fight, 7 versus 7, and the French are absolutely willing to go for it. And Masquerade again with Diablo as he's starting to move in, but already we're having the time to activate it. Yes, Death Knight is trying to control the spot a little bit longer, but Johanna is already down, gets eliminated, and again Diablo with Engage, and X-Ray is falling too. Alarak is in trouble, that's a triple kill for the Frenchies! The Baguettes take down 3 heroes. The only one they have to sacrifice for that is Diablo. A great trade for the blue team. They take their camp, they take the momentum, and Germany might just have overplayed their cards a little bit. They thought themselves in a good spot, they moved down there, but they did forget about Masquerade and how much of a fucking monster that guy is on Diablo, as he just moved in and absolutely crushed them. They take the camp, they take the experience, they take the kills, and now we have the French ahead in this game. Quasar in the middle, already moving out as he's getting attacked by Alarak and Leo. Same time now, Chromie has a level 10, camp taken on the left side, Masquerade rotating over, just looking for these wall stuns one after another. And the game is ongoing as towards the top we are seeing the push against Quasar, but they can't lock him down. Actually, they might just be able to. They're trying here. Is another combo ready? It barely is, but Anna is there, and Anna goes straight away for the heals. The darts come through. Li Ming at the bottom of the map together with the Siege Shine camp is trying to take a few of the structures down, and Germany cannot get their kill. Li Ming can get the fountain though, and that takes the lane sustain away from Germany. Death Knight moves in, has to defend this. Top side, another one is going to be taken. Level 10 abilities are there, and it seems like we might see the first Dragon Knight for the French team. The French team is looking strong. Iron Skin already used, and another stun. Honestly, at this point, Masquerade is just getting ridiculous. Calamity kill against Johanna. He doesn't even need a wall. Give this guy anything and he's going to get a quick setup. One good interrupt from Alarak, but how long can he keep that up? Answer is not too long. Top side, there's the push. The French team is having so much momentum right now. It's honestly getting a little bit crazy. They're pushing through the middle. They take the Dragon Knight. Level 10 abilities are ready for them. They go through the bottom of the map right now. 5 kills against 2. Finally, heroic abilities for Germany. They need to defend this somehow, and it's going to be tricky. The bottom fort likely gonna go down. At this point, it gets a bit insane. The level 10, they might have changed everything. In comes the setup against Nick. Fantastic cleanse from Rhaegar. Absolutely stellar. But now they go for Li Ming. The nano boost does a lot, but it's again Diablo who makes the plays. He might go a little bit too deep with this one, though. The Dragon Knight is about to be taken down, but here come the triple pandas. What's better than a panda? 3 pandas, exactly. Alarak down, and so is the keep. Germany is starting to feel the pressure. They are behind heavily at this point. Behind with a level, behind in kills. And they're oh my god, in 2 misses as well. Yeah, the pressure is definitely getting to them now. 14 stacks for the Time Walker's Pursuit. Chromie soon going to be done with the quest. 13 stacks on the side of Alarak. And we have a situation in which Alarak is the top damage dealer for the red team. The Blurs at this point with 17,000. Once again, here comes the setup against Death Knight. And they're trying to go for the camp too. Germany needs to slow this down a little bit. They just need to recover. They need to stabilize. If they want to come back into this, they just need to stabilize. They need to take a deep breath. And they need to say, guys, okay, let's go. We have everything we need here. It worked well in the early game. Let's just focus, use the level 10 abilities. We're a bit behind, but we're not out of this just yet. The French, on the other hand, they are obviously eager to keep that momentum up. And it would work if they could get the level 13 talents and then force another fight. Fight around talent advantages. Fight around number advantages. Fight around the objective. And that's what they're at this point trying to pull off. Another camp taken. Control the minion experience as much as you can. And there's another camp available at the bottom of the map. Hazovs with the push topside. Going up against two. Dequaza is sitting pretty. Camps taken all over the place. And Chromie is doing her thing at the bottom of the map. Again, a bit of a trap. One of those Admiral Akbar moments. It's a trap! But nobody's falling for it. Not in this game. Instead, they're moving down to the bottom. This would be a bit of an optimistic approach, though. There's the Entomb. He's trying to get away, but no chance lands. Not this time. Diablo in trouble. The body blocks are there. They need to drop Masquerade. They need to drop him, and they can't. They lose 2 heroes instead. Make it 3. Once again, Lee Mick is just shitting on them. The Germans, they lose everything here. Chromie goes down. 4 heroes eliminated. Only Johanna survives. 10 kills against 2. And the French team is absolutely dropping the numbers right now. They are looking fantastic here. The Frenchies go straight in. The baguettes, they are hitting them with the baguettes wherever they stand, and this is not looking good at all. The French, they won a couple of sausages for the baguettes, and they've just picked up 4 in the last fight. They take the camp, they take the Dragonite, and they are taking everything from Germany at this point. Once again, a DK on the way to the bottom of the map. The rest of the team is following suit. Level 13 still needed for Germany. Leo's at the top side to pick it up, and then we will head back for the defense. But this is getting really nasty. Germany is trying to get the damage through. They're trying to burn well, it is pretty much the Death Knight. The Dragonite down as quickly as they can, but the big lizard with the battle axe is just shredding the front line. There's catapults and siege giants to account for too. Level 13 talents are finally there, and maybe with the ominous wraith they can make a play. But this is getting really difficult now. Hazops is sitting at the side. Leeming already saw it coming. Tries to execute a combo, gets a bit of damage in, and the Dragonite moves away. The Germans hold on to the keep. They hold on to the keep into the hope that they might be able to turn it around, but just look at that gap in experience. 10 against 2 kills, 2 levels ahead. Germany needs kills, and they need them fast. They need them fast if they really want to pick up some experience so that they can make a play here. If they make it ever to, at any point to level 20, then Buried Alive alone would of course be a bit of a game changer, but still at this rate, the French team is going to get a little bit too far ahead too soon and will most likely pick up a keep if they get another DK. 16 is there. They have 16 with the Mirror Ball. At the same time, enough to share, and combo strikes have now been taken. Domination. And if Diablo wasn't dominating until now, then I don't know what he actually did the entire time. He was absolutely insane. Bottom of the map, another camp is taken, and the French team just takes everything. But Leo wants to at least take a structure, so he moves topside, and he is going to get that fort eventually, so that's actually a good move for him. The problem is that at the bottom of the map, the aggression is there, that especially with this camp and the catapults, the lane to the keep, the path is open, and that's what they're going to take now. Leo Hearthstone's back, fort is still there, and now the only... sorry, but that keep is down. Germany can kiss that keep goodbye. And well, Germans are not really known for their feelings, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to have strong feelings about this one. But as it stands, the only feeling that they probably have is a little bit of happiness. As much as Germans can be happy, them not complaining is pretty much all the happiness that you get usually out of a German. But yeah, not losing the keep is actually a big deal. I was a bit surprised that the French moved away from this one. So, well, as it stands, Germany is holding on to this. Germany hasn't given up on the game yet. They're still playing this. And, well, are they really engaging here? Without 16? If you want to commit Sudoku, fine by me, but I'm not quite sure if game number 7 is really the place where you want to pull this one off. So, well, at this point, there you go. I'm still a little bit flabbergasted that the French didn't push in for this one. Seriously, with Siege Giants, Catapult, plus also a mercenary camp that would provide them with spell armor, they could have definitely made that play. They must have really felt that going for the super safe mode here and just playing the long con would be the much better option. And that might be a decision that could, in the long run, turn out to be false and, yeah, wreck them. But the Dragon Knight gets taken, they sneak it in, Germany is not able to get the shrine control, and that was a big, big fuck up by Germany. That was a big, big problem. They had 16 pretty much, they should have fought for one of the points, rotated around the opponent, they didn't do it. So that little potential mistake by the French team to not take that keep earlier is now firing back against them, because this one is going to fall this time for sure. All the Dragon Knight has to do is move in and drop the Dragon's Breath a couple of times, and this one is over. Jump into the backline. Azops is all alone and goes down. Isolated and taken apart. Germany is completely falling off here, and the French are going for the victory. They looked long and hard for the surrender button. They realized that there is no surrender in Heroes of the Storm, and then they said, okay, we might as well just try and win the game now. And so far, it looks like they're doing exactly that. They're in such a great spot. 2 levels ahead, 9 kills ahead. Top lane is pushing soon. Mid lane, they have to pick up the experience. Down at the bottom, Leo is going to come back. Could try and drop the Entomb, but they decide against the fight. But this is a disaster for Germany. They fought back on Battlefield of Eternity. They forced map number 7. But right now, the only thing that they can really do is try and force a fight before level 20 talents drop and then take it. And it's not going to be easy. Especially with the way that the French are playing this right now. They're playing this super safe. They're saying, guys, let's not risk anything. No risks whatsoever. We all know no guts, no glory, but for the French, apparently, it's more so the safe play that they're looking at right now. And for good reason. This is the final map. You win this one, and it's all over. You lose, and you're gonna have to explain to your fan base the entire time why you didn't go for the safer play instead and played the long game here. So there we go. Germany, pressures on them. They need to be the ones to initiate right now. They need to be the ones to make the play. Death Knight with a Blessed Shield. They see the Quasar. There's the combo. And they go straight in. There's the setup. And that should be a kill against him. That should be a kill. And it is. The Panda is down. Panda abuse already reported. They're absolutely crapping on him here. No Panda in this game. And, well, with that 5 versus 4, Germany has to do something. Honestly, it's not enough to just get a kill. They need to pick up a Dragon Knight, get a couple of structures taken down, maybe go for extra experience through a mercenary camp. They need to do something. The Panda's down for another 30 seconds, and that is the window that you have in which you can start to really just rock that advantage. The problem is that France is about to pick up their Storm Talons. They will have level 20 any second right now. So what's Germany going to do? They're trying to play for the Dragon Knight now. And, well, they have the control at the bottom. Death Knight is trying to try and hold on for this as long as he can. He's going to maybe even sacrifice himself. The problem is that Dino is going to be interrupted. There's nobody helping him out. There comes the setup. They're going for the kill against Junkrat, and they get it. Nick with a play. Blessed Shield against Diablo. And Masquerade goes down. What does he? Masquerade falls, and the Dragon Knight has been taken. Germany is back to business. The Germans are at it again. The entire game, they were getting wrecked. It's like the match against Sweden. It's like when they played against the Swedish team on Infernal Shrines. All of a sudden, they have a tool back into the game. Diablo is back, but he doesn't have any souls. He's a weak kitten right now, just pouring away, hoping that nobody hurts him. And at the same time, the Germans with the Dragon Knight in the late game are starting to crush through the bottom of the map. You take our keep, we take your keep, and we take your life. They take everything, and they are so close to 20. If they get 20 right now, it's going to be Storm Talons against Storm Talons. Is Germany even going for the core here? They have a chance. Dragon Knight at 50%. Again, firing away. Triple Panda jumping into the backline, trying to get the kill here against Nick. Nick goes for the timeout. There's the fight right there. Nick is running out of mana too, and the Germans have to retreat as all of a sudden everybody's just fighting for their life in game number 7. What a series! What a series, and what a final map here. It's absolute insanity at this point. They are going all out. They're pulling all the stops, every single play. Nobody's giving up here. Nobody gives up. 20 versus 20. 11 kills against 5. Keep down on either side, and honestly, the game is wide open now. It's wide open. Who makes the play? Is Masquerade going to get another insane wall stun through? Will he set a kill up against anybody on the other side? Get a domination kill, for example? He can nearly one-shot people, and Masquerade has been just crapping over the German team nearly every single instance. Leo's the only one on the camp right now. He has Buried Alive. It's the game changer. It's the big talent. Buried Alive can be the one talent that changes it all. And look at the sustain. Blinded by the Light and Storm Shield, both taken by Rhaegar and Johanna. They have that sustain right now in these setups, which means also for the Pandas, it's going to be so difficult to drop the backline here. What a game. 40 stacks by now also for Dino. 40 stacks for him on the negatively charged. He's sitting at 27,000 damage. Second highest damage dealer for them. 43,000 damage for Chromie. And Kieva, that mad beast on his Chromie, is sitting on 50,000 and 137,000 on siege damage. Guys, this game, it's gonna come down to another Dragon Knight. It's gonna come down to another big team fight. Unless someone gets an insane engage here. And there is potential for that from Germany. I mean, think about it. They played it already earlier. You get a Buried Alive through and you have a setup. Blessed Shield can follow, and you have the combo from Alarak. There's a lot they can stack. But then again, blue team has Masquerade. And Masquerade on Diablo, he is terrifying. He is absolutely... Oh, there it is! They zoom it into the Buried Alive, but that's just not enough. It's Diablo after all. And the combo didn't work out. The Entomb was already over. Cooldowns burned, but both of them low. Short cooldowns. Short cooldowns, no problem. 30 seconds is all that they have to bridge to have the cooldowns back to business. It was a worthy attempt, but it didn't work out. They tried. They tried and they failed. The control of the bot lane is still super important here. The lane where no keep is left. Next team that takes the Dragon Knight wins this. Trap is already set. Everybody's moving in 9 seconds. And they're gonna have their heroics back up. 9 more seconds. Bot lane. Well, nice control here. I like it. The French go for another camp. Well, they take this already, and the Germans are starting to slowly push into this. The Germans are on the move. They go for the catapults. They want to go for the bottom. Are they really going to fight in a choke point against Masquerade? I don't think so. They're trying to take the control though, but here comes the wall stun. One wall stun goes for the second, but this time the Iron Skin is through. And here they go again. Diablo gets attacked. Diablo gets attacked, but the Pandas are in the backline. The Pandas are jumping in, and immediately we have the Apocalypse being used as Chromie goes down. Nick is eliminated. They're trying to go for the counter kill, but at the same time, Death Knight is already in trouble, popping the Iron Skin again and trying to stay alive here. Uses also the Blinded by the Light, but Death Knight is low, and Death Knight is down. This is a double kill. Diablo again with the wall stun against Alarak this time, as he's going straight in for him. They get Alarak too. It's a triple kill, and they go for Hazorms. The French team might just have pulled it off. This is gonna be a victory. Masquerade, you fucking monster. It's a 5-man team wipe. Is this real life? Is this really happening? We have France going straight in game number 7 for the core against Germany, dropping the hopes and dreams of the Germans after they forced game number 7. The party time is there and the French team is crowning themselves the champion of the tournament. They've taken it, the European champion, ladies and gentlemen. It is France with a well-deserved victory in this best of 7 series. GG and well played.